Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's having a absolutely wonderful day so far today. And guess we jump right into Ender Magnolia. New game. Only took several tries. Homunculi, artificial life forms. Word is, they're almost human. Human, more like mutants. All those times they've attacked us. No, they aren't human at all. That text scrolls very fast. Text scrolls very fast. Sounds like there's some sort of... Don't be afraid. It will be alright. In preparation for this moment, I have taught you all you need to know. Listen carefully. Seek out allies. Find the other attuners. I have faith in you. You can. The homunculi. Also, the game audio is louder than I thought it was going to be. Apparently, we're just waking up somewhere. What is it these games just... What is it with, like, metroidvania and stuff? Just having you just wake up in some random underground just spot. Ugh. I'm alive. I mean, it looks a little bit more technological than the start of Ender Lilies, at least. What happened? I can't remember. I've forgotten something or someone. Someone important. The art style is already just amazing. What is this place? The game wants me to go right, so I'm going left. Always start by going the direction the game does not want you to go. Scrapped homunculi. Over 1,400 tune transport homunculi. Insufficient. Number of specimens scrapped per month. Decreasing. Contact research facility. Interesting. Yeah, the game's art style is already like super. Ooh, and it has like multi-layer parallax scrolling in. The fact that's one of the first things I noticed about the game's art style. I jump towards edge to climb. Okay, so I can climb up in this game also. I've got to figure out the exact controls for the game compared to other games. Okay, this looks useful. Healing ward. Grounder and water L1 restore Lilac's HP. While uses are limited, they can be replenished at respites. Charmed magicite stored within an Argentine vial responds to the bearer invoking a barrier of healing. Okay. So that's the... Looks like it's the equivalent of prayers / healing from last game. AKA just a basic attack or a basic healing, and we don't even have a basic attack right now. I'm assuming it's probably gonna be the same button. A subterranean testing site ruins. Interesting. I mean, we're definitely somewhere under the ground. Definitely somewhere under the ground. I can't open that door. Those creatures at least don't actively seem to be attacking me. Okay, so right R2 dodge. Okay. We have a slightly better starting dodge than the previous game. Ooh, and we can run. Yeah, so far the art style is super pretty so far. So like, yeah, the first game had a very pretty art style also. This one seems a little bit more industrial. Uh-oh. Sliding. I still don't think I can go past those walls. Yeah. I still don't look traversal. That thing in only light spot is probably important. Homunculus? It isn't moving. Has its magic been exhausted? Oh, interesting. eyes that yearn for death. Well, that's just pleasant. No, eyes that do not fear death. You seem familiar. Are you not frightened by me? That's definitely a thing that exists. What's to be afraid of? I've been around homunculi since I was little. Lend me your power, then. A touch of magic should allow me to liberate myself. In turn, I will aid in your survival. I do wonder if we're going to have a similar style of like multiple. In previous game of spirits, so in this game I'm guessing it would be homunculi that I can swap between for different attacks and whatnot. I do wonder. Uh-oh. I mean, they're pulling out a sword from themselves. I suppose that's safe. I do, however, have one condition. Yeah, what is it? You think I would devour you? Probably not. Probably not. We seem to be helping them at least a little bit. We can speak further once we have escaped this dreary pit. I assume you'd rather not linger either. That seems prudent to not be in the spot full of unknown, I don't know what, underground. And allies Nola, an enigmatic combat homunculus that has been abandoned in the subterranean testing site. She exudes an ancient, noble aura, most unlike the labor homunculi in the lower stratum. That's a lot of things I don't have context for to start out with. Okay, but that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3 attack. Gotta figure out the exact. Yeah. Oh, the game just tells me. Gotta figure out the exact combo. A restart. I mean, this is my first time playing Ender Magnolia, so not really a restart so much as haven't played it before. Because the sequel to Ender Lilies, which is the previous game we 100%ed. And, respite. I'm guessing respite, yeah, respite. Respite can be found in multiple locations. Sounds like a heal spot. Yeah, that's... Okay, blighted memories. Yeah, abilities. Okay. Looks like we will be able to equip multiple. It's a lot of different sets of them that I can equip. Yes, it definitely is very familiar to Ender Lilies, except it seems a lot more mechanical, modern, almost. There are a lot of... Wow, okay, I mean, we're level 1. But there's a lot of stuff in the menu. I'm going to need to make sense of that at some point here. There's also a slightly better looking map system. Ooh, is there a difficulty toggle? There is a difficulty toggle. Gotta turn the difficulty toggle up to hard. And save the game. Gotta always make sure the difficulty toggle's turned to hard and not just sitting there at easy. Or normal, or whatever other defaults the game likes to throw at me. Okay, I want to see what's over here. A wall I can't make it through. There's always going to be walls I can't make it through. Gotta tease me with all the doors and walls and stuff that I can't quite do anything with yet. Otherwise, that would not be the greatest, or that would not be the best, like Metroidvania, if it didn't immediately throw impassable pathways at you. Gotta give you some way to get upgrades. But yeah, the enemies don't seem at least in this area, don't seem too tough, at least. But there are... That one actually attacks. Still nothing too terrible. Yeah, still nothing too terrible that I'm seeing. Yeah, the map seems to be a lot more complete than the Ender Lilies map, which I think is probably nice. But yeah, the art style is... I really like the art style from Ender Lilies. And this game's art style seems to have taken all the good stuff about that art style and kept it, but just given it a slightly fresher looking coat of paint. I'm guessing that the purple cloud is probably toxic goop of some sort. That just makes sense. Or that would just make sense to me. Okay. Yeah, purple cloud coming from enemy is almost always toxic goop. That is just straight up locked. I like how it says unlock and then it's like, nope, actually, no. You can't unlock that quite yet. Quite yet. We're at least making it up. Yeah, we're slowly making it up here. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff just going on. This looks like a boss fight room. Yeah, this definitely looks like a boss fight room. And immediately get a tutorial on stagger damage, or I guess break damage as this game calls it. Ah, yeah. That is immediately a boss fight. The game really is not holding back its punches. Okay, I can heal. I do have 3 heal charges, it looks like. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 heal charges. You can kind of see them up in the top left. That is just how many heal charges I have, or rather how many I now don't have. Because the boss is somewhat energetic of an attack. Oh, and they can combo me. I did not expect the boss to start comboing me. I can't say I necessarily expected the very first boss to already have combos. At least it's more of a tutorial boss. No, don't leave me. Perhaps I can help. So, kind of like it seems like in the previous game we would pray to the spirits to help them. In this game, it feels like we're repairing the robots or saving them. Lilac, where are you going? Take me with you. Fumes? Yeah, it seems like we're helping the robots in this game, at least so far. Aww. Did we just leave our friend behind? I think we're Lilac. At least so far as the game is leading me to believe. You fixed me to see the outside. All of us. It's all we wanted. I just noticed the giant pile of bodies in the background of the room. That is mildly creepy. Because that does seem like it's similar. A similar upgrade system to the previous game. A discarded test subject from a homunculus processing plant. He was one of many homunculi that were exposed to the fumes as part of an experiment to observe how long they could withstand its effects before turning rabid. As the fumes took hold, hordes of homunculi tore through one another, climbing the resulting pile of corpses in a frenzied bid to escape. Leto survived by being buried beneath the pile. It's a little bit disturbing. Leto can attack independently of Lilac and Nola. It's possible to activate the ability while attacking. Interesting. That's going to be a lot of buttons that I'm going to need to remember to press. And I also apparently do remember to equip it. If mine at last. With this, free. Subterranean testing site key. A key that unlocks the magic gate leading to the subterranean testing site. It's probably the door that was locked over to the right. Yeah, that's probably the door over to the right. That is not the button I need to press. That's the button I need to press. Okay, there are a lot of items. We have a bunch of items or a bunch of actions unlocked already. Yeah, the game really is just throwing me straight into the deep end with a bunch of just mechanics. I'm guessing I can set abilities by sitting at bench. Okay, I can... Ooh, this game actually has PlayStation controller text. Okay, so that is a second attack. Because, yeah, that looks like a second attack that I can kind of throw out. Which I think that's probably useful. Okay, and yep, I can unlock the locked gate now. So it really doesn't need to make sure I actually fought the boss. Milius, Lab Primus, access restricted. Homunculus Research Log 1. Artificial life forms created through the infusion of magic. They are augmented by Milius arcane smiths and boast high physical capabilities and durability. Although they pose no danger to humans, magic that affects the consciousness is used to ensure homunculi remain true to their purpose. However, these methods require tuning from time to time. That feels problematic. Anytime it's like, oh, this is perfectly safe technology that just requires us to suppress something's consciousness, never seems to go very well, and always seems to malfunction somehow or another. I shudder to think of the inhumane experiments homunculi were subjected to beneath the surface. Do you remember anything at all? The fumes. They drove everyone mad. They hurt each other. I saw you in my memories. Are you Lilac? Yes, I think so. I like how we never also seem to actually remember who we are, and it's always just like amnesia. There's undoubtedly a connection here. Do not fret. Your memories will likely resurface in time. In fact, it would appear we all have something we are struggling to recall. I am certain of one thing, however. You wield a power capable of liberating homunculi. Those with such powers, they are known as attuners. We may be able to find more of your ilk by retracing the memories of homunculi we encounter. This game is a JoJo reference. Everything is. Mostly because JoJo has so many just things thrown into it. Hey, I mean, we went up the elevator. Hopefully the game's music is coming through the stream. I can't tell. It might still be really quiet. Well, let me turn up the stream music again a little bit. I'm trying to figure out like exactly how loud it needs to be. Because the game is like weirdly quiet at some points and then it gets really loud. But the game has very good music that I want to make sure is actually getting picked up. Is this locked? That is locked. Okay, I can't open every locked door with the same key. It's a very pretty background. It's like glowing up there. So, this is the outside world. And that's the upper stratum. That's where the sorcerers, the founders of this nation and the creators of homunculi, reside. If I am to discover the truth behind the wretched dreams that haunt me, I sense that is where I must go. I don't know where to put the mouse cursor. That seems to show up sometimes. To that end, I will not permit you to perish until we are there. Steel yourself, Lilac. Yeah, staying alive feels like it's probably a good idea. At least a little bit. I understand. My memory is hazy, but before I fell below the surface, someone was desperate to save me. I think I cared about them. I want to know why they were crying. And if this power I have is meant to help homunculi, I want to use it. I mean, it's a very noble start to the game of help the homunculi. Turn around immediately, start bashing what I'm assuming are probably also homunculi with my attack. That enemy looked like it had a chainsaw. That is much more modern than, I think the most fancy thing at all we saw in Ender Lilies was a sword. This game actually has slightly fancier things. Not by much, but it's a little bit fancier. Oh, is this a... It's like little blue sparkles. Does that mean there's a respite? That does mean there's a respite. Is there actually other characters in this game? Other than just like us and our traveling companions? I think maybe. Whoa. What kind of homunculus is that? She looks so old. And who might you be? The arcane smith of the town up ahead. Well, arcane smith in training, I guess. A rapier? Yeah, I suppose. I'm looking to get my hands on some awesome arcane instruments that'll help the whole town. Wait, are you a tuner? Like the one in town sometime back. May I inquire where exactly? I don't know. I only heard about it from my partner. Partner? A homunculus with wings. Say, did you happen to see him on your way here? I don't think I did. Oh. Anyways, you look like a mess. Help yourself to anything here. Are you sure? There was a tuner who helped me one time. She asked me to help other tuners if I met them. She was one who set up this little camp and left all this stuff here. You know, you remind me of her. That a tuner lady. Oh, there's a mantle here you should take. It looks real handy for a tuner. Thank you, and I hope you find your friend. Say, if you see a homunculus with wings, could you help him out? If you can. Are you not returning home? It isn't safe outside, especially for one so small. Gotta keep collecting junk. That's how you survive in the lower stratum. I feel like them being small doesn't have anything to do with their ability to actually do stuff. Well then, I'll see you around. It does seem like there's actually some other characters for once. Ooh, we have a coat now. The items here may indeed prove useful. And there's also that winged homunculus she mentioned. Yeah. Ooh. It's in air X. The rune inscribed in lilac shoes allows one to jump even while in midair. And dodge. Okay, so apparently we just like immediately get better movement. Yeah. So we, instead of that roll, this game did not want me to just sit around forever. Yeah, you can change Lilac's attire at respites. That's, I think, useful. I'm not sure what screen that's in. Was it extra? It said extra, I think. Yeah. Sorcerer Academy uniform, Azure mantle, a tuner mantle, EX, and then EX and EX2. I I like that like teal color, but I apparently am way short on fragments. I'm not sure how to unlock more fragments. Yeah, I'm not sure how to get more fragments, but we're like not even a third of the way there. Yeah, the world being cruel to these cute little characters. Given Ender Lilies just destroyed most of the world, I feel like that kind of tracks. Welcome, land of fumes, fueled by magic, at your service. They're at least not harmful. And yeah, already there's, I'm guessing if I fall into the purple goop, I take damage. Yeah, ooh, because yeah, I can, looks like I can jump, aerial, dodge. Okay, yeah, the game really did just want to give me like a bunch of movement right away. Which I suppose I can't necessarily complain. And we're level 3 now. But yeah, I can't necessarily complain about getting more movement right away because it also just helps go faster. Ooh, there's a platform over here. I don't think jumping onto that platform was actually useful at all. But there's a platform there, and I landed on it. Can I pull myself up? I can make it up here. Charmed fragment. Okay, so these are the equivalent of just the like little bits of 5 extra health. Fragment of magicite contained within an Argentine vial. The higher concentration of magicite, the stronger the magic. Yeah, little health upgrades are, I feel, going to add up very quickly. Old City Market. Passage through the human settlement of Old City. Authorized. Mutants prowling the outskirts of Old City pose a threat to human life. Remain alert. That's a slightly creepy start. Is that dog okay? Oh, there is just a creature there. Oh. Heh. A little birdie told me there's homunculi running wild everywhere. What a mess. I wouldn't know, seeing as I ain't ever getting out of here. I feel like they can climb up pace like Blasphemous. I haven't played Blasphemous yet, but it is on my list of games to play. Remarkable. I can hardly believe the lower stratum remains this populated. We've already found, like, infinitely more living NPCs in this game than the previous game. How is it that humans live on amidst a thick haze of fumes? Oh, fascinating. Arcane instruments is how. Without them, we'd be goners. Name's Gordon. I'm the resident arcane smith around these derelict parts. I take it the kid's in a tuner. Where are your pals? As it so happens, we are presently in search of other attuners and a way to the upper stratum. So it seems like we have to climb, like, up, I think is our goal right now. Can't say I've spotted any attuners in a while. And you won't learn much about the upper stratum down here. What about a homunculus with wings? Oh, that got his attention. I heard about Yolvin from Levy. Did ya? Yeah, the game has a very pretty art style still. Yolvin used to keep us safe from the mutants, but that was then. Haven't seen him of late, but there's rumors he's been attacking folks and such. He might be over yonder, down the road, but it ain't safe to get close. You hear? I noticed that there was also a pathway down to the left. We can talk to the puppy dog. Oh, the little Robo. I think they're sick. Yeah, there's a pathway there. There's also a pathway this way. I'm guessing that the blue sparkles just mean respite. Yeah, blue sparkles equals respite. That's useful to know. It's teeming with homunculi out there. You take care now. Times like these, you need to make sure to get plenty of rest. Why not take a break on that sofa there? I mean, that is a save point. Conversations with allies. There's just a lot of stuff just very quickly going on at the start of the game. It's not nearly as slow of a start as Ender Lily's was. I can tell you have something on your mind. Best come out with it. We have a long journey ahead of us. It would be nice to know your names. My name? You may refer to me however you please. Lido. Lido? I think it's Lido. Lido? My name is Lido. But that might be Lido. Your turn. Or do you not know? Nola. Call me Nola. Is that really your name? The markings etched into my arm would suggest as much. Or do they not have a memory either? Interesting. That would be saying interesting and then the game having interesting as text also. and items. Tattered letter. Dear sis, happy birthday. You said you wanted a new pillow, so I tried to pluck some of Yolvin's feathers to make one. But he got kind of mad, so I'm going to have Gordon teach me how to make arcane instruments for you instead. Levi? I think it's probably Levi. You there. Have you seen anyone alive outside the city? We'd be long dead if it weren't for the arcane instruments warding off the fumes. Fascinating. I don't know exactly what the arcane instruments are yet. Yet, at least. Seems like the game probably wants me to go to the right, which means I want to go take that. Or at least look at the path that goes down first. Hold on, what's that? I'm guessing that's an ability I don't have yet. I'm going to guess, just go out on a limb and assume that's an ability I don't have yet. Maybe a tuner could. Nah, never mind. I really am getting old thinking of asking a kid. Yeah, the game obviously wants me to go to the right, so I want to go down first. Ooh, there's a person down here. And a tuner. Not something you see often. Okay, there's a couple of people down here also. I wonder when Levi and Yolvin will return home. I didn't think I would survive when I fell down here, but the townspeople saved me. I got separated from my little sister, though. I wonder if she's up there. Are these... I can't tell if these are like just bits of lore, flavor text, or like actual like quests or stuff that we'll be able to unlock. Okay, I can't go further down, but there is an item here. Five more health. 5 more health is worth it. Yeah, always a little bit more health. Never something I'll complain about. Because I have a feeling that the game's difficulty is going to ramp up. Probably going to ramp up a fair bit, given that the previous game was Ender Lilies, and that game got rather difficult by the end. And I'm guessing from looking at the map that at least the rooms that are gray still have stuff. I sense mutants everywhere. Remain alert. So I'm guessing these are the mutants. So like the corrupted creatures, at least, I'm guessing are the mutants. Of course, not like the game's actually telling me any of that. Oh, that's a doorway. It's also a enemy that just did like a third of my health with one attack. Actually, both enemies did like a third of my health with one attack. That is a little bit terrifying for my survivability, or my odds of survival, to be taking that much damage right away. Okay, I think there's multiple types of like money that we get. Yeah, the enemy with shield equals probably need to dodge behind them in order to hit them. Yeah. Gotta dodge behind the enemy with the shield. I don't know what that type of creature is, but it appears to be a flying enemy in this game. Does appear to give you air stalling. Yeah, this game appears to give me pretty good ability to just air stall with my attacks, which makes... I don't know if I can make that jump. Being able to just stall in the air seems to be quite helpful for not instantly losing when there's an attack, or when I have to attack stuff that's actually flying enemies. That's something I definitely have trouble with in a lot of games. Yeah, I don't know if I can make that jump yet. Oh, I can make that jump. Oh. Okay. I can air stall and actually move forward when I'm attacking. 150 materials. Yeah. Can make this stall jump with air stall. Yeah. Yeah. I hadn't quite realized we're still moving forward when I was stalling in the air, but not falling. Because like if I attack in the air, I move forward a little bit, but it like cancels my fall. I can't take it anymore. A drink before old city folk notice us. Items. There has been an increase in reports of homunculi turning mutant. As retrieving cores is no longer a feasible endeavor, ensure that you maintain a safe distance. Additionally, while we still suffer a deficit of attuners, do remain vigilant with reports. Frost Attuner Squad. Yeah, I mean, remembering that the air stall that I had just talked about exists is still useful. You did good making it here, kid, but it ain't safe here either. How about it? Want a drink before you kick the bucket? Yeah, because it seems like the game just lets me air stall just with my normal attacks. Though it looks like it has to be my primary attack and not my secondary attack. It kind of looks like my secondary attack doesn't actually. That is a lot of damage very quickly. Okay, so do not stand in the purple toxic goop cloud. That dealt like my entire health bar in like 2 seconds. That's a terrifying damage output for a fairly common looking enemy. Yeah, those purple toxic goop clouds appear to be very dangerous. Because I also only have so much healing. The three little heal charges is not a ton, especially when all the enemies are dealing like a third to half of my health bar per attack. Is about what it seems. I'm gonna ignore this enemy this time just because it's a fairly strong enemy. But yeah, the ability to just stall myself in the air makes fighting the aerial enemies in this game a lot less frustrating than it is in some games. That's something I just have a running habit of being very bad at actually defeating. Are like flying style enemies in games. Okay, let's not stand in the purple toxic goop clouds. Because I can pick stuff up pretty easily. 170 materials and an enemy just jumping at me from the side. Okay, let's try to not take just an excessive amount of damage. Because those purple toxic goop clouds hurt a lot. I don't know if I can fall into this water just fine. Okay, I can. I can't swim, but it at least doesn't deal damage. I suppose that's probably a good enough consolation prize that's not just excessive amounts of damage. It's another doorway. Another doorway. Lots more enemies. Most of the enemies don't seem to be too overly difficult. I say as I then proceed to jump right into one of their attacks and lose a third of my health instantly. Oh, I can go up and over or down and around. I'm kind of like just looking at the map and I'm seeing that I didn't necessarily need to take that bottom path. I could also have come through this pathway. And that also looks like it works. Ooh, and there's an item up here. More health. Just a little more health. Always appreciated to get a little bit more health. Because yeah, if I look at the map, there was also a doorway off to the left that I kind of just ran past. But it looks like we're now like outside. I'm kind of trying to mark off as many just different directions as I can from the map so that I hopefully can figure out where I need to go. Because I know or it seems like we're trying to generally go in an upwards direction, or at least our goal is to reach the thing called the upper stratum. Okay, that is a locked door. At least our goal seems to be to reach something called the upper stratum, which I'm assuming is up given the name. We still have to figure out how to get there. And also the feathered friend. Increases aerial attack damage by 10%. The sanguinary raven. An arcane instrument imparted to Yolvin by his friend Levi. It was crafted under the guidance of Master Arcane Smith Gordon. A most precious gift. Are they the siblings that the note was talking about? I think they might be the siblings that the note was talking about. Also, there are a lot of enemies here. There's already just a massive number of enemies just hanging around, and the winged homunculus could be close by. Remain alert. Okay, I will absolutely take the healing bench. You can customize the relics I have equipped. Okay, I only have 2 relic slots right now unlocked, but that does still mean I can unlock or equip the relic I picked up. It's probably intentional. That looks like a boss fight room. Yeah, this looks like a boss fight room if I've ever seen one. Because big open room, somewhat creepy, but very pretty artwork in the background. That must be the winged homunculus Levi mentioned. I swore to protect them. Uh-oh. Are they going to attack me? I'm guessing probably. Enemy fall damage. Knocking enemies off high places deals additional damage. The longer the fall, the more damage they take. Water is instant death to enemies. Enemies whose break gauge is depleted can be launched, making them prime targets. Fascinating. That is definitely a boss fight, though. Yeah, Yolvin the Black-Winged Huntsman. Okay, they are a very mobile enemy. Yeah, they're very, very mobile there. Uh-oh. Because, yeah, that deals a lot of damage when I get hit. Yeah, getting hit by that attack dealt like half my health pool at once. Which is moderately concerning. Yeah, moderately concerning to have one attack from like the second boss of the game already dealing half my health pool. Granted, I did pick this game. I picked both Ender Lilies and Ender Magnolia because they're tagged as difficult and I like the challenge. and then I saw a difficulty setting in Ender Magnolia and turned it up to hard, which just immediately boosted the damage output. Why do I feel like there's probably a second phase? in that I just cleared phase 1. Ah, yeah. Caladrius. That's a second phase. That is definitely a second phase, and I have not a ton of healing left already. Something tells me this might be not a first try boss. Oh, I should actually be using both my attacks. Because I have a secondary attack that I can fire off for extra damage. I feel like I should actually be remembering it exists and using it. Ah, yeah. Still ran out of health. Still ran slightly out of health there. Which can't say that is necessarily the greatest thing ever. But yeah, if I remember to use my secondary attack, I think that's probably a good idea. Yeah. Okay, it seems like we get the exact same intro text. It seems like we get the exact same intro text each time, but it does not appear that a lot of these enemies at least immediately deal contact damage. Because I can kind of walk into the boss and be fine-ish, it looks like. Ah, yeah, that's gonna hurt. Yeah, taking an entire attack to the face is gonna deal a decent amount of damage there. And by a decent amount of damage, I mean, like, my entire health pool all at once. Okay, because, yeah, can't say this is the easiest boss fight ever, and it's like this second boss of the game, and the first one that's not directly the tutorial boss, which has me somewhat concerned. Somewhat concerned for my ability to beat some of the later bosses when they inevitably get tougher also. But I suppose we are also going to level up, presumably a fair bit by then. Okay, I cannot attack that quickly. Yeah, I need to give him at least a second before I attack the boss. Or whatever phase we're in now. Hopefully it's only a 2-phase boss, not a 3-phase boss. But I'm not sure I could beat this if this is a 3-phase boss. They're a little bit on the tough side. And also that is a scary looking attack. Yeah, they throw a scary looking attack out at me when they jump up and slam back down into the ground. Okay. That worked. I think that worked. Probably maybe a little bit. At least a little bit. Can I repair them? That's right. I lost myself to the fumes. Okay, we can... Oh, it's tuning them, not repairing them. So I think we can tune them. Amelius experiment. He must have escaped the central stratum. That growth present in his wings. I can't remove it. If you want to thank someone, she's the one who found you. Those 2 sisters. Look after them. Aw. Yol, you won't ever leave me, will you? Yeah, I promise. It's hard for me to read the text because it scrolls very fast. I nearly broke another promise. Thanks. I'm in your debt. When we met Levi, she asked us to help. And here I thought she needed me. Looks like I had it backwards. Unfortunately, I still can't remember much from after I lost consciousness. If you're looking for other attuners, though, I'd check the sealed-off Magicite Mine. Let's go see Gordon at Old City Market. I'm sure he'd be willing to help. Is that another attack that we've unlocked? of some variety. Pressure ability. An experimental homunculus that escaped to Old City from the Biological Research Facility in the Central Stratum. Experiments involving animal fusion were conducted on Yolvin by a renowned homunculus researcher who fled a neighboring country that is no more. Interesting. Yolvin attacks continuously while following Lilac, for as long as the button is held. You can move and jump while using this ability. Useful for keeping up long-range pressure. This ability's high mobility is offset by its modest power. So that I think that's just straight up a damage upgrade. I think that's straight up a damage upgrade. I don't think this is a respite over here to the left. Yeah, that homunculus just lost it. Can't trust the damn things. Ooh, item. It is imperative we find the land of origin. The magic of this nation will not last forever, assuming we don't succumb to the blight first. We have successfully proven our theories around the application of magic in replicating and even creating artificial life from nothing. This is now our only hope. Yeah, this kingdom also seems to be somewhat impacted by blight. Seems to be a bit of a running theme. That everything is just blight. Everywhere. Ooh, that's another doorway. I want to check what's to the left before I go through the doorway, though. Because I'm suspecting that whatever's to the left is probably an item that I want. Probably, at least. Because I see at least an item over here. That is 130 materials. I'm not sure what materials are useful for, but we have 600 of them at this point. And it looks like there's something else in this room, at least according to the fact that the map didn't turn this room blue. But I'm guessing I can't get whatever it is yet, at least. Because we have some level of movement. We don't have unlimited movement. Oh, this is the other doorway. Okay, so we just did a giant loop. I suppose that works out well enough. Because that means... yeah, we just did a giant loop. This game has a somewhat complicated looking map. But at least tells me everything. Yeah, the map at least telling me everything is, I think, generally beneficial. There's a lot of just things here. I do want to equip the new attack, though. That would be... I feel like for something that I have to constantly be holding down, having R1 so that it's on a different finger than most other attacks, or on a different finger than most of my other attacks, is probably a good idea. That feels like a reasonable thing. Oh, I just noticed that there's a cutscene I can do. If Levi isn't in town, she must have gone out by herself again. Maybe she's still looking for her partner. I'd keep an eye on her when she was out looking for junk, but then she began sneaking off by herself. She knows how to cut and run if she comes across any mutants, but she is still just a kid. She's not the only one. I think they're talking about me. Okay, there's just a lot of text. It's a very text-heavy game. So far at least. I once heard this from a tuner in Old City. Fumes from the lower stratum have seeped so deeply into the cores, the very souls of so many mutants. Even attuners dare not approach them. Countless homunculi have turned mutant in this manner. I doubt we will be able to save them all. Aww. But yeah, this game seems to be a bit more text-heavy than Ender Lilies was as well. Which isn't terrible, but it's also a lot more reading. It's a good thing I have a bottle of water right here. Okay. Well, I'll be. You brought Yolvin back. You must be one hell of an attuner, kid. That is... I mean, it took us 2 tries. You have my thanks. Levi'll be downright giddy. Here, I suppose you should have this. Ooh, lower stratum key. Locks the magic gates found around the lower stratum. I think we found one off to the left and maybe another. There might have been a second one off to the right. I've definitely run across these doors in a couple of spots. What is it? The magicite mine. The tethered steeple. This key'll let you in there. At your own risk. Still seems useful. In that there's my homunculus. Man's best friend. Name's Hottie. Hottie, Haiti? Probably Hottie. I used to be up in the central stratum. Back in the day. Until I painted a target on my back. That is, Hottie saved my skin back then. About as reliable as they come. Aw. So cute. I'd rather you be out seeing the world than wasting away with an old fool like me, pup. What do you say, kid? You'd be doing us both a favor. Oh, is this this game's equivalent to the fast travel system, maybe? Oh, we get to help out the puppy. We get to help out the puppy dog. I like that. They seem very friendly. Okay, yeah. Open it and select respite from the map screen. Mount High to travel instantaneously to respites you have previously visited. Fast travel. You can travel instantaneously to respites I have previously visited. Adds the exact same text a second time. One more thing. Whenever you've got materials on you, stop by this here craftery. I'm an arcane smith, after all. Figure I could do you some good. Gotcha. That's what we use the materials we've been picking up for. I feel that's generally useful. Grants an additional relic slot. Crude bangles. And worn bangles. Okay, we can buy a lot of magic vials. I'm assuming it gets more expensive each time. Okay, oh, these have slightly different stats. This one gives me less defense, but more heal. This one gives me more defense. Ah, yeah. 15 defense or 5 defense and 10 healing. Oh, and looks like I can wear 2 bracelets. So I think I'm going to buy both of those and then buy... Yeah, it does get more expensive each magic vial I try to purchase. That's going to be really a lot of materials at some point late in the game, I suspect. Yeah, I suspect that's going to get quite costly. Because I can equip 1 on each side. I don't have any totems or carapaces yet. I'm not sure what those are useful or what those will be useful for yet. Because it doesn't appear to be something for sale either. And yeah, the magic vials seem like they're going to get expensive. Yeah, I know there was a locked door there. Off to the left, but there was also one off to the right. I want to look at the one on the right first. I think I want to look at the one on the right side first. Because that seems like the right choice to look at the right side first. That is my decision-making process. I do know that we're going to need to go to the place called the Magicite Mine at some point, at least according to what I've been reading so far. At least according to what I've been reading so far. So if this is the Magicite Mine, I'm going to go to the other area first. That is a very big elevator. It does not appear that I can operate said big elevator. But it does appear to be a rather large elevator and a new type of enemy that spews out fire all over the floor. That is mildly concerning. I should actually make sure I'm attacking the enemy and not just swinging my attacks in their approximate vicinity. These enemies also still just deal a massive amount of damage for a single hit. Because, like, granted, I'm dealing more damage to them. They also have, like, my entire health pool each. Yeah, each enemy has, like, my entire health pool worth of health. So me dealing the same amount of damage that they're dealing to me is a little bit terrifying. Just a little bit. These enemies seem to be somewhat threatening just because they're hard to actually hit. With their shield and the fact they really seem to like to jump backwards. Can I go up further? I see that ledge up, or I see that platform above me, but I think it's high enough up that I don't actually have a way up there. Oh, there's a platform right there. I did not see that platform. I did not see that platform there. There are a lot of different pathways here. Ooh, item. I will always take items. I'm guessing this is probably more health. Yeah, more health. I promise I didn't know that beforehand. I'm just half... I think I kind of figured out how this game's developer thinks from playing Ender Lilies, which does help me a lot with just getting stuff in this game as well. I don't know what this is, though. Probably a note. Yeah. Warning. Entry prohibited. Hazardous zone ahead occupied by homunculi who have declared themselves enemies of Milius. Risk of mutants. Milius Homunculus Guard Corps. Fascinating. I'm suspecting that is the pathway forwards. Is there something in the top left of this room? I'm just looking at the map, and it looks like there's something kind of tucked into the top left corner somewhere. Whether or not I can actually get there is a different question. But it almost looks like there's something... Yeah, I see it. I see the purple dot on the map, but I don't think I can get there with my current movement. I don't think I can get up there with my current movement, which is unfortunate because I really want to see what that item is, and it's probably something very good. But I am still somewhat limited in my vertical movement ability because I basically have 2 jumps worth, double jump worth, and not more. Where did we just go to? Like, we just warped somewhere. Or I suppose we didn't warp so much as we went through a doorway. I suppose going through a doorway is probably slightly more accurate than, oh, we warped somewhere new. We went through a door. Okay, these things have ranged attacks now, the flying enemies. That is mildly concerning. Yeah, the flying enemies having a ranged attack is moderately to severely concerning to me, because also this type of enemy is really tricky to actually get behind an attack, because they are actually very good at just turning around and using their shield. I think I need to wait for them to attack me first. Yeah, I think waiting for that enemy to attack me first is probably the play. Ooh, is there something up here? There's not something up there. That is just a ledge. Yeah, it seems like just waiting for enemies to attack is the correct strategy. Where's my brother? Okay, so everybody seems to not be doing the greatest, and we walked straight into a boss fight. old upper stratum guard. Yeah, we walked straight. Yeah, I walked straight into that boss fight there. So yeah, that is damage. It's really hard for me to remember to push all the buttons. Yeah, there's a lot of buttons here that I can push for various attacks. Because yeah, there's this attack, the pressure attack. There's my primary sword attack. Then I have that like charge them across the screen attack. Which 3 attacks is a lot of buttons for me to remember. Especially when it seems like I can use all of them at once. Okay, that boss wasn't terrible. Probably more of a side boss than a story boss then. Because I know that, at least in Ender Lilies, there were a bunch of side bosses as well as main story bosses. And I'm guessing this is one of the side bosses because they were easier in Ender Lilies. And it seems to be that Ender Magnolia is following the same general patterns. Aw. The last thing I remember, I was in the central stratum. Aw. I don't think that's great for them. Oh, thank goodness. You've come around. Is that her brother? My lady. I remember drink water still. Yeah, my lady. In my present state, I'm afraid I can no longer continue to protect you. But at the very least, I can escort you back to the city. Young attuner, you have enabled me to carry out my final duty with honor. You have my gratitude. At least we're helping. Unidentified transformer. Component that can be used to unlock and enhance Nola's abilities. Magic transformer developed by House Milius. Highly proprietary, is an essential component in the transformation mechanism of Nola's weapon. I think we just got an attack upgrade. Or at least an attack upgrade component. That's definitely worth it. I will absolutely take a attack upgrade component because I'm assuming that means I can either get more damage or something, which I'm suspecting to be very beneficial. But there's a pathway down over here also, including and off to the right. There are a lot of pathways tucked just around the game. The purple toxic goop, if I touch it, will drain my entire health pool basically instantly. That is like half my deaths so far in the game is actually standing in the purple toxic goop cloud of some enemy or another. Because that stuff, it does not have a very long cooldown period on its time that it takes for it to deal damage. I want that item. I'm not sure how to get that item. Yeah, I want that item though. Hey Alexander, welcome to stream. Yeah, I want that item. But I don't see a way to get there from at least this side. Maybe I can drop in from above? Maybe I drop in from above. Let me at least finish clearing out this room before I go check. Oh yeah, because there's just an item over here to the right. Beyond the gloom lies the hidden stronghold of House Frost. Haha. Sworn enemies of House Milius. Known as the Tethered Steeple, it was once an enormous prison meant to contain the nation's transgressors. Search the shadows, for the place hidden by magic lies beyond the Shroud of Darkness. Hidden zones. I suppose that is the game teaching me about invisible walls. Yeah. watching Initial D studying up on your cultural history. Honestly, that's fair enough. Yeah, all in all, kind of a bad show carried by the music and drifting. I mean, you're not entirely wrong. I don't have enough vertical mobility to get up to that flying enemy. But I think this spat me out into the same big room as before that we wanted to try to drop down from to get that item. I do want to check the hidden area we opened up once I'm not actively trying to find my way to the purple item. The items in this game are a little bit easier to see because they're not just like a little white fragment on the ground. They're actually like purple glowy stuff. Reduces the likelihood of being inflicted with the blaze, freeze, and shock status effects. An elegant ribbon often spotted among the wealthier parts of society. How it found its way into the lower stratum is a mystery. The jewel on the ribbon is able to offer some protection from various kinds of magic. Yeah, the purple glowy is a lot easier to see. Yeah, the Ender Magnolia purple glowy is a lot easier to see than the red glowy, or not red glowy, white glowy from Ender Lilies, because those items were basically invisible. This game also has a much easier to read map. Ooh, it is a respite, though. It's definitely a very similar game structure to Ender Lilies. So far, at least. Vanquisher. An axe that deals slow but powerful melee damage. Oh, do I get to, like, pick different... I think I get to pick different types, like, if I want a faster... or a faster but less damage, or slower but more damage for my primary attack, is I think what that option is. 'Cause yeah, that kind of looked like it might have given me a little bit of vertical as well. But yeah, we got Silksong Crests again. Slightly different form, I think. All the homunculi here, our fates were decided for us by House Milius. And then the frosts came along and gave us a new lease on life. It seems it's not quite Silksong Crests. It's tethered steeple. We're in a derelict place. The fumes have spared nothing. I'm gonna go to the right before I go down the elevator. Because yeah, this seems to be an entirely new area. I like the like red color. Okay, this seems to do like double damage or like 50% more damage maybe. That's a new enemy type. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm sold on the heavy swing given how fast a lot of the enemies move. I'm not entirely sure I like how slow that attack is, even if it deals extra damage. Because yeah, the enemies in this game are quite mobile. So the slow attack seems like it might be a detriment rather than a benefit. I am guessing that there's something useful over here. I still like the fact that the game gave me double jump basically right away. It just makes getting around a lot smoother feeling. Yeah, I feel like at the next respite I might swap back to at least the like standard starter attack for my primary attack, because this is just really, really slow. And for how fast the enemies are, slow but heavy damage does not seem to be the play. At least so far. Oh, is this the bottom of the elevator? This is the bottom of the elevator. Again, I'm also... I was about to say, I'm also already quite low on health, but we are actually out of health. Yeah, I feel like having the slightly faster attack here is better, at least at the moment, even if it deals less damage. Yeah, little bit of an oops. Just a little bit of an oops. But the elevator at least didn't require me to activate it. They are just standing down here. They are just standing down here. And yeah, less damage, faster attack. Feels like the correct way to go here. There's something to the left, but there's also something down. I think I want to see what's to the left first. Because I think if I take... Oh gosh, I am terrifyingly low on health right now. And I only have 3 healing charges, which is not a ton. 3 healing charges is not a ton of healing. Especially for how long it seems, or how many enemies there seem to be just tucked into this area. Okay, that enemy just spews fire all over the floor. How rude of them. How rude of them to just spew fire everywhere. But yeah, the art style in this game is still just... I said it like 10 times already, but it's just such a pretty art style. But both Ender Lilies and Ender Magnolia at this, or so far. Oh no, I missed my elevator. I didn't see the platform in the middle until like a second too late. Luckily, it appears to be fast enough to get back. Because I don't have that much movement speed yet. I'm not the fastest at moving yet. And or I just walk straight off my platform the second time. Yeah. Got more movement speed than 0, but still a little bit slower than the platform. We're making it there. We're definitely making it there. Okay, let's... Third try's the charm, right? Okay, there we go. There we go. We actually stayed on the platform that time. Open the door, and I'm guessing there's an item over here. And or just enemies. I'm guessing that there's, yeah, items. little bit of max health. Seems that the blue colored rooms are the ones that I have actually gotten everything from. Knowing how to track which rooms I've fully cleared does appear to be generally helpful. Control over homunculi is said to be similar to the magic of another time that was capable of manipulating the soul itself. A priestess of the ancient people who inhabited this land at one time is said to have taken control of souls in this way to grow her power. It seems this ancient sorcery can only be inherited through blood. It was desperately sought by the sorcerers of House Frost. That sounds like what Ender Lilies was. Or Lily and Ender Lilies was one of them. Findings. Magicite mining record. The abundance of magical resources excavated from the lower stratum yielded a bevy of anomalies, including but not limited to those that manifest the powers of heat and cold. Ever since, the Land of Fumes has produced a number of arcane instruments capable of commanding fire. Be warned, however, for these are not to be wielded lightly, particularly by homunculi. Ah, yes, status effect blaze, aka you caught on fire. And I have the item or the relic to reduce the chance of equipping that. Okay. I'm not sure why I didn't expect a random box to start attacking me. That honestly kind of tracks. we had boxes and barrels attacking us in Ender Lilies, so I'm not sure I didn't expect that in Ender Magnolia also. Those are some terrifying enemies to get stuck between. And we're out of health again. I suppose that also tracks. There's a few enemies in this area, or in this game so far. Just a few. And they're absolutely terrifying. Every enemy I've seen so far is absolutely terrifying. I'm just gonna ignore like half the enemies there though. Because if the game is gonna let me just run past them to get back to the scary room, I'll just run past them to get back to the scary room. I suppose I should probably use my different attacks at some level. Because I have 3 separate attacks. It's just hard to remember. Oh, and we have a 4th attack slot. It's gonna be hard to remember, I feel, to actually press all the different buttons for all my different attacks that I can use, but using all of them does seem to be generally beneficial. Yeah, I can do all the different attacks. The ranged attack, my primary attack, the cooldown attack, or sorry, I think I called it like primary, cooldown, and pressure attacks. Probably because it places pressure on the enemies to constantly be being slightly blasted by a ranged attack. That would at least make sense to me. Ooh, free magic vial. The other magic vials were expensive. Looks like they're gonna get expensive to buy. So finding a free one is very nice. Because there's, I think, 14 more magic vials at the shop that sells magic vials. But those are... First one was $250, the second one was $380. That's getting expensive fairly fast. Okay, yeah. I think using the pressure to stun enemies seems to be a generally effective strategy. It seems to be a generally effective strategy to use the pressure attack to stun or break the enemy's stance, and then I can continue. Okay, that is an elevator down. I don't want to take the elevator down until I've hopefully cleared this entire room of stuff. One of those crates feels like it's going to attack me. 15% extra experience after felling an enemy. A dice imbued with a magic spell that improves the holder's luck. Crafted in the lower stratum, it is among the rarer arcane instruments. Oh, it's not lucky dice, but it is. Yeah, okay, there's the crate that's gonna attack me. I'm like, one of these boxes is gonna try to attack me at some point here. Because that seems to be the running theme for this area. Is the boxes are angry. The boxes appear to be slightly angry. I'm also low enough on health that I have the damage warning, but not any healing. But this is a respite. I will always take it the respites. I can equip the blighted dice. Some extra health or some extra experience I feel like is never gonna hurt. Because there's just so many things. Oh, I can buy. I was saying earlier that I really like this color of outfit. It's like slightly lighter, like more like teal color than the dark blue. I still don't know how I get more fragments. But this seems to be like cosmetics and like character art gallery of some variety. Yeah, I like that color a lot more than the like dark blue for some reason. I don't know why. It just looks a lot. It just feels like it looks a lot. I think it might be because it's like a little bit less outstand. It blends in a bit better. I was trying to think of a different word to say there, but it was not. Sentence was not constructing correctly. Okay, I can go down further to the left, or I could just go to the right. The right has enemies of multiple varieties, but I have ranged attacks. Okay, this way also appears to just go down. But I'm guessing... Okay, it looks like there is something over here. That is a really long elevator. For not being a room transition. Yeah, for not being a room transition, that's a really long elevator. It's also an entire room, part of the room that I can't access. Which is honestly kind of interesting. Okay, that is a boss down here. Okay. Surprise boss fight. That has happened multiple times at this point. Yeah, multiple surprise boss fights so far. Because they don't... Okay, this boss doesn't at least seem to be too overly difficult. But they do have a fair bit of fire that they can throw, that they seem to be able to throw out at me. Yeah, this boss seems to be somewhat fire-based. Okay, I can attack them. Yeah, I can definitely attack the boss. I should heal. Yeah, I should heal there. Yeah, I can't tell the level of difficulty of some of these, or of the game, compared to like other games quite yet, because we've only fought a couple of bosses, but it's definitely up there. Yeah, the difficulty is definitely up there. Yeah, it's definitely above 0. I'll give him that much on the difficulty. Okay, I thought that we might have defeated the boss at the same time we got defeated, but it appears that we actually survived. I will take actually surviving. Surviving is helpful. Turns out, keeping your health bar above 0 is a good idea. Frost? You're a sight for sore eyes. Stay on your toes. The fumes. We can't help it. Got nothing else to give. So please, take this. Ooh. Ability unlock. More abilities is always helpful as well. A device fit into the armaments of homunculi. It is capable of augmenting arcane instruments and can be used to amplify a homunculus's magic. It seems like not every one of these is unlockable. Basically, every boss we fought in Ender Lilies was an unlock. These don't seem to be unlocks so much as they're just useful various upgrades. Is there an item up there? I don't know if there's an item up there. Okay, those enemies are still somewhat terrifying because they have just a lot of health. Yeah, they just have a lot of health for what they are. Okay, why did my pressure ability not angle downwards at an angle I can attack from? I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head. I don't see anything over there. Okay, I do see there is an enemy here. There's actually 2 enemies on this platform. That was slightly blending into the background. Okay, I want to fight whatever that enemy up top all the way is. I think they're just a standard enemy though. But I want to thin out the enemies a little bit. Because yeah, there's There are a lot of them. And I'm out of health. Yeah, this appears to be moderately difficult of a game. Just a little bit. It's just a little bit difficult. But not anything terrible so far, but the game definitely is not pulling its punches from what I'm seeing so far. Ooh, item. I want that item. I don't know how to get that item, but I want that item. I definitely want that item. I'm guessing... I think I was on the correct path before. I just ran out of health before. I should probably stop walking straight into the enemy attacks as well. That's presumably helpful. There's a lot of enemies right there, and they're kind of strong. The enemies right there are kind of a little bit on the strong side. Yeah, they deal a lot of damage fairly quickly. Okay, they are easy-ish to stun. Yeah, the enemies are easy-ish to stun, which does certainly help. It does certainly help that the enemies, that when I can stun the enemy, because I can take one out at a time, and I can not get hit by this attack 3 times in a row. Slightly beneficial. Yeah, slightly beneficial to not get just sniped from across the screen by ranged enemies. Whew. Okay, this is another one of these platforms that I need to apparently race every time I want to get one of these items. This is the second such platform I've come across. And I got 5 health for it. I got 5 health for all that trouble. Actually, 5 health is a lot. Given my current health bar is like significantly less than 5. Yeah, my current health bar is significantly less than 5, so 5 health is something I will absolutely take. I can attack things through the floor in this game also. Good to know. Very, very good to know. Yeah, these enemies are not terrible. These enemies aren't terrible yet. Though they do still deal a rather large amount of damage that is problematic because I don't have a lot of health still. Yeah, I'm not sure why I was complaining. Is that a secret pathway? That is a secret pathway. I'm getting better at actually spotting secret pathways in games. 200 materials is also quite a lot. Because most of the things we were buying so far were in the like couple hundred material range, and now we're in the like we have over 1,000 material range. Ooh, enhance abilities. Oh, I can upgrade either of these to a different attack. Honestly, the Glacial Fist, kind of like a bit of a like jump and slam instead of just charge forward, honestly kind of feels useful because it looks like it freezes enemies also. Yeah, kind of looks like it freezes enemies as well, so I'm going to try that ability out. I'm assuming that the game's probably going to give me the ability to kind of do what, or unlock everything at some point or another, so I'm not too concerned, but that one looks fun. Yeah, that ability, or that attack looks like a fun one. Ah, yeah, that deals a decent chunk of damage also. I think I like the Glacial Fist. I think I like the Glacial Fist ability. Looks like it deals decent enough damage. This is a slightly creepy looking room with several items. Book of the Blighted. Neither the body nor the mind can resist the blight. In time, it assails even the soul, and rot consumes the whole. The rot exhibits remarkable regenerative properties, granting undying flesh to the blighted. In the process, however, the mind is consumed by the blight's rage, until only madness remains. Only the miracle of the priestesses can bring salvation to the blighted. I mean, we have the white hair. Grimoire. Unlocks new items can be forged at crafteries. That's useful. Like that's not even me being sarcastic. That is like legitimately useful. That is a really tall room I just fell down. But more items is... Yeah, more items to craft is more items that I can presumably use to slightly extend my ability to survive in these areas. Because these areas are a little bit tricky at times. Yeah, a little bit on the tricky side at times. You take out one enemy at a time, focus one enemy at a time. It's another one of these circle things. It really does feel like I'm just missing, like I don't have, I mean, I know I don't have a lot of the movement abilities yet because we're right at an hour and a half of a, I'm guessing probably similar length to Ender Lilies, maybe a bit longer, Metroidvania. So I'm not surprised I don't have movement abilities to get everything yet. We'll unlock them. We will definitely unlock them. I'll take 100 materials, though. 100 materials is... well, 100 materials. The map... because yeah, there's stuff down here I didn't go through. There's stuff over here I didn't go through. There's definitely something up there that I haven't gotten. Then there's more rooms to the right. I see an item. I see an item, I see a respite. I'm guessing this... I'm getting boss vibes from this direction. I'm definitely getting like boss fight vibes. Because this is a surprisingly open looking room. I don't think I can get this item because I don't have enough vertical mobility yet. Before I continue to the right, I kind of want to check some of the other pathways off the other side. Because we have the left. Yeah, we have the left pathway, we have the down pathway. We have the, I forgot that there's an enemy standing here and I just took a bunch of damage pathway. Yeah, turns out that that walking straight into the enemy is a very good way for them to be able to attack you. It's probably even more efficient than most. What is that? I mean, that gave me 20 materials. It was glowing blue. If it glows blue, or if it moves, it gets attacked. Actually, or if it's a background material that doesn't glow blue or move. I think everything just gets attacked by me in this game. I will absolutely take whatever random items I can find. Homunculus Research Log 2. Requiring neither food nor water, homunculi instead find sustenance and magical energies. Through the preservation and replication of the soul, it has also become possible to create homunculi with regenerative abilities, capable of withstanding the blight in the lower stratum. Before long, we shall be able to plumb its lowermost depths. The land of origin is within our reach. You know, going off what the Land of Origin was like in... There wasn't a Land of Origin in Ender Lilies. Going off what the, Verboten Domain was like in Ender Lilies, I suspect they don't actually want to be, poking their way into the Land of Origin all casually like they are. Because it feels kinda like they're probably a very similar area. And the Verboten Domain, aka Poison Swamp of Doom, feels like there's probably the same thing at this Land of Origin, and that also makes me kind of concerned. This also feels kind of like boss fights. Everything feels like a boss fight, except for boss fights. Those I just wander into randomly and get surprised. Okay, there is water here. I can not swim under the water. There is a secret pathway, though. And I mean, it's some materials and also an item, which is a bunch of materials. I feel like I might want to go check what I can craft here sooner rather than later. I'm guessing that's a barrier. Yeah, I can't get over. Yeah. Yeah, can't swim yet. Still need to unlock most movement abilities. Because really the double jump and dash in this game were kind of just base abilities and not actually something to unlock. Because it kind of just gave it to us right at the start of the game. Or I suppose like very, very close to the start of the game. It just kind of gave me those abilities. Which, for gameplay purposes, so long as the game was balanced around it, which it seems like it was, there's not really anything inherently wrong with just giving me more movement right from the get-go. Because it also just makes it easier to get around the game, to not lock useful abilities for long periods of time. I feel like if I go to the rest and go right, I'll have more health when I get down here. I'm gonna fast travel so I can heal and then run back down. Because the fast travel in this game seems to be fairly fast. I mean, it is called fast travel and not slow travel. So it makes sense that fast travel is fast given the name. But yeah, it does give me the ability to get more health somewhat easily. Yeah, somewhat easily, since I don't need all of it. Granted, I then proceed to lose half the healing I just got before I even made it anywhere. There are multiple pathways, all filled with enemies that appear to deal a rather healthy amount of damage. Oh, it's like... Oh, there's an item up there? Locked behind multiple locked doors. Now, I'm not an expert in game design, but item locked behind multiple levers is probably good. It's probably a good item. Probably. I guess we will shortly find out. Because I at least just opened up both of the levers. I'm just gonna go up. No, it's gonna go down, and then it'll go up. Oh, can I? Oh, there's platforms. There's just platforms there. I am slightly terrifyingly low on health now. Oh, it can freeze the enemies sometimes. Okay, that's like an entire treasure chest. Reduces cooldown for abilities by 15%. Eye of the Ancients. I guess every civilization inevitably discovers ways to put random things into glass jars. In this case, an eyeball. An ancient arcane instrument fashioned by House Frost. The eerie blue eye enclosed within is said to never take its gaze off the holder. Whether or not the orb is real is another matter. Something tells me it's real. Or definitely real. I do want to go check the shop because we got that item that said unlocks more things from the craftery. Well, there's the craftery is just over here. In the town with an endless number of NPCs. Ooh, thistle bangle, mixed parts. Interesting. Can be used to unlock and enhance ability. I want to buy the ability upgrades for sure. It's less heal. This feels like a straight upgrade over the one on over the bracelet on the right because I don't see a minus. I just see pluses. So I think I want to buy a thistle bangle, and I'm gonna buy a magic vial because that's a relic slot. Yeah, there's some useful items here. Oh, it's these two characters. We helped one of them. Yeah, we saved one of them from somewhere. I can't believe my brother fell down here too. Thank you for saving me. But that homunculus looked like he was about to fall apart. He told me to stay away from him. He left me here and went off by himself. I'm guessing that means we're going to get to help that homunculus at some point, given that instead of getting just straight up upgrades, it was the right one that I wanted to equip with this item instead. Yeah. Seems like instead of just getting straight upgrade or straight like quest markers, we just get like hints. Honestly, it feels like less cooldown time is way better than a little bit of extra experience. Oh, because now I have mixed parts, so I can unlock both of these extra abilities also. Yeah, so we can just unlock a lot of stuff. Honestly, the Eviscerate feels like it might be more useful in the ranged attack. Yeah, it feels like it would be more helpful. Because that's basically a damage drill AoE in front of me. Which feels... I think I like that ability. There are still a lot of things over here or a lot of things in rooms that are marked as, you haven't unlocked everything from this room yet. I should save the game. Should definitely save the game occasionally. This feels like a more useful than the just normal ranged attack. I say that as I then walk into what is definitely a boss room. The Grim Reaper of Milius. Never thought I'd run into you here. Who are they talking to? That's definitely a boss fight, though. Shackled Beast. Shackled Beast deals a lot of damage. That was half my health pool half my health bar from a single attack. That was almost my entire health bar from a single attack. Something tells me that this is a strong boss fight. Maybe not the drill for boss fights. Because the other one seems to do more... The other one seems to do more break damage. Yeah, the other attacks seem to be doing more break damage than this one. The, ranged attack and not the drill attack. Yeah, seem to do more, stun break damage. We got that down to about half health. For a first boss fight on a Our first attempt on a boss fight in what so far does still seem to be a fairly... Okay, no, the Eviscerate does do more break damage. And is faster. Why does it feel like it's doing less then? Because it has like little stat bars. I do like the Glacial Fist attack though. It seems to be quite good. I don't think I need that. I don't think I want to equip the rocket arm. I think I like the glacial. I think I like the glacial attack so far. Yeah, there is just casually an enemy standing here that deals. Yeah, I think it might be this like speed. Okay, that attempt went significantly not as well. Yeah, that attempt did not go super well. I lasted like 5 seconds. Yeah, I need to be very careful because all these attacks deal a pretty absurd amount of damage. Yeah. Boss vibes from the open room next to a save point? Nah. Why would that be a boss fight? This boss is, does do a lot of damage, though. Yeah, this boss definitely hits hard. It's like half my health bar per... It's like half my health bar per attack. Yeah, which is kind of slightly problematic. Kind of slightly sort of problematic. It's just a little bit. Especially because I don't have that much in the way of health. I don't have that much in the way of health or damage yet to be able to deal with this much. Okay, it appears that when he does the spinny thing, I should run away and then expect him to do a like secondary follow-up attack, at least occasionally. Yeah, this is... That boss hits hard. Yeah, that boss definitely hits hard. By quite a lot. I stunned him, but I also got hit at the same time. Yeah, this is not the game for damage tanking. Yeah, this is definitely not the game to try to damage tank, and given that the common enemies already deal like a third of my health bar per attack. Yeah, the common enemies already deal like a third of my health bar per attack, which is terrifying enough. Let alone a boss fight that deals a relatively large pile of damage with every single hit. And it hits a lot. And I don't have that much healing. I don't have that much healing relative to the boss. Because it can basically zero out my entire health bar with one attack right now. And I'm kind of wondering if that might be because... Or if, like, there's... Because there were two directions I could go. I wondered if I picked the hard one first. Because I don't know how the damage scaling in this game works. Because I don't know if it might be chapter-based like Ender Lily's was. Where just... I think the boss damage scaled based off of how many other story bosses you've beaten. But there's definitely the other direction as well that we just had not been to yet. Which I wonder if it might be potentially helpful to explore that direction also. Just to get slightly better equipment. Yeah, slightly better something. Because this whole area is full of stuff that deals a lot of damage, and a boss that I somehow managed to get to half health the first attempt. I'm not sure how I managed that. I'm legitimately not sure how I managed that first attempt at the boss. Because that's a lot better than I've been doing the last couple of attempts. Though, to be fair, the boss is not the easiest boss I've ever seen. Okay, I can stun them, which lets me throw out at least a couple of attacks, and I can get a heal off. Yeah, that spinny attack, it kind of feels like I need a slightly... It feels like I want better movement. Like, the game's not telling me, no, you can't go this way. But it's also kind of telling me, no, you can't go this way. Because this is a major difficulty spike compared to any of the other bosses that we've been running into. Which is either because we're now not in the tutorial, or because between the two branching pathways, I picked the one that the game intended you to do second and did it first. Unclear which one of those is actually the case. Or I suppose it could also both be the case at the same time. But the game definitely seems to be lightly encouraging me that going the wrong way. It tabbed out of the comment box and you reloaded the page. Might have actually found yourself an hour back in the stream. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, sometimes YouTube does not always do the best job of keeping the stream up to date with itself. Even on my end, it doesn't do the best job of that, and I sometimes get some weird like delays from YouTube. Okay, that boss hurts. Yeah, the boss definitely hurts, and I'm still not dealing that much damage to them. Yeah, after pressing a bunch of buttons, I'm like 10 or 15 attempts into this boss, and given that you could barely even see the health, or me dealing damage to the health bar behind my model there. Yeah, boss does lots of damage. Lots of damage. Yeah, your no damage tanking comment definitely still applies. Because I still can't help but wonder if potentially exploring the other pathway we have available to us as well, before we keep going off to this side, could be potentially mildly helpful. Because the boss fight hurts. Yeah, this boss hurts. They deal a lot of damage very fast. I threw out my charge attack the wrong way. Yeah, the boss wasn't even on screen. Yeah, running into enemy. Yeah, I mean, it also applies to the boss. Because this boss fight is dealing a little bit of damage. Just a little bit. And by a little bit of damage, I mean some of these attacks from this boss can zero out my entire health bar in one go. And I can't help but wonder if exploring the second area, looks like it was 20 minutes ago. Yeah, I can't help but wonder if exploring the second area that I know we have unlocked might give me a tool to make this boss fight a little bit easier of some variety. And the game's telling me, no, go different way first. Stop trying to fight Shackled Beast as your next major story boss. Though it's not outright telling me it's impossible. And I can definitely deal damage to the boss. The boss just also deals a lot of damage to me. The boss also just deals a lot of damage to me. And just entered a new phase. Which is terrifying. Yeah, the boss entering a new phase is terrifying. Because this boss hits... Actually, I might be able to beat this boss. If it does not have an entire second health bar worth of phase 3 or what have you. Might be doable. I was a little bit too close to the boss right there. Okay, let's try to keep going. Yeah, keep going. Keep hitting the boss. Try to not take too many unnecessary hits. Yeah, because I can kind of pressure them from a distance using the very helpfully named pressure ability. Yeah, using the things that are very helpfully named pressure abilities, I can kind of... Ooh, I think that might have actually worked. I did wind up using like all my heals. I failed. We could help them. Yeah, that. This game's not easy. Only one attuner made it back from the depths. All he found was the shackled beast. The fumes have reached the crystalline realm. Even hesitant homunculi are going crazy. Crazy? I'm more sober than ever. Free from your brainwashing, damn humans. In a tuner, another Milius is something. You think you're any different from a homunculus? No, we're the same, you and me. Help me put an end to this nightmare. Sticking it to those Milius scum? Not a bad deal. Show me what you've got, a tuner. Save the shackled beast? Question mark on the save? This power. A frost? So there's still hope. That is not the first time something's called me a frost. Hey, welcome to the stream. You called me the Grim Reaper of Milius. Why? Another mutant without his memories, huh? Then you wouldn't remember if we've met before. But yeah, then you wouldn't remember if we've met before. Not that they'd be good memories. Not with those Milius scum involved. We'll need to keep this one on a short leash. Strength is the only language he understands. I don't answer to you. I pledge my allegiance to the Frosts. There is no need to fight. Whatever. Nothing left here for me to protect anyways. So, the last of the Frosts, huh? Let me help. I'll be your shield. I'm assuming that we're getting some sort of upgrade here. But yeah. Shackled Beast cooldown ability. Tempered into a formidable weapon by experiments conducted by House Milius, this homunculus was abandoned by his former masters after proving too difficult to control. He was subsequently tasked with exploring the lowest depths of the Land of Fumes, from whence few ever reemerge. Yeah, I mean, I'm Voidwalker. But emerge he did. And with an attuner in tow. Oh, that... Is that like a... That looks like a parry attack. Yeah. Pac-Man famous line. I'm gonna go equip that at the... Definitely not a bench. It's a bench. Because, yeah, it looks like abilities can equip to that rate, or that slot. And then we have all of them at least available. The tethered steeple was the last bastion for homunculi with nowhere else to go. That was my story too. A failed experiment. The Miliuses left me to rot in the lower stratum. And a tuner from House Frost saved our butts. Got us set up in the steeple. Worked out for him too. Kept the Miliuses from taking over the place. I don't know who the Miliuses are, but they don't seem to have particularly made themselves well liked by anybody. Milius scum. They kept cooking up homunculi, but I'm gonna put an end to that. Every time you see the title of this game, you're reminded of a song. Interesting. What song? We don't get to choose, you know? Our fates are set in stone from the moment we're born. It's a raw deal. Aww. Yeah, it looks like that might be a sort of parry ability with a somewhat long cooldown. But hey, it's another ability I can equip at least. It's definitely more off to the right. There's definitely more over here. That is a very long room. And the artwork of this game is just so good. What a bizarre sight. The fumes have affected the very wildlife here. These are still dealing a lot of damage. Yeah, everything in this area, or everything in this game seems to deal just a ridiculous amount of damage. I'm kind of slightly worried because those look like warp points. And this looks like a warp puzzle area. And I'm not wrong. Yeah, I'm not wrong. This is a warp puzzle area. That's going to be mildly difficult to navigate. Yeah, that's going to be mildly difficult to navigate. Because that is warping everywhere. Okay, I can't climb up the left side, but I can climb back up the right side of this. And there's definitely a pathway over here. Yeah, Magnolia by Julian. Might have to listen to that after the stream, because it's definitely, I see why it would remind you. Words etched into stone. O noble guardian, cast thy bolt of judgment upon those who defile the azure forest. The magic from the land of origin dwells in the azure forest. The beast's wrath shall echo through the forest, reaching to its origin. Okay, apparently we got the hint for the shock status effect. That is a locked door to the right. That was very, very bright all of a sudden. That is a locked door to the right. That is a... Okay, there's several pathways at least. Yeah, there's several pathways with various enemies and stuff tucked along them. I do need to be, I think, careful to not get hit by the enemies that have electric attacks because they probably stun me. It was using Hellsing Ultimate as an ending theme for one episode and didn't spread much beyond that as far as you know, but it's still pretty good. I mean, I like music. I am also definitely cheesing these enemies by attacking them through the floor. I mean, if the game didn't want me to cheese the enemy by attacking through the floor, it shouldn't let me attack it through the floor. Because I have a sneaking suspicion I'm going to already be limited enough on my healing without having to fight every enemy fairly. Okay, this one I can't seem to actually get through the floor. Yeah, I took a hit from and lost half my health. That seems to seems to be what keeps happening. Is just extremely high damage from absolutely everything. Yeah, like music. That's a pretty good start. Pretty good start for sure. These enemies deal a lot of damage for being just common enemies. Okay, to be fair, I suppose I did technically turn the difficulty of the game from normal to hard. Hey Jacob, welcome to the stream. I do suppose I did technically turn the game's difficulty to hard. So I shouldn't be surprised that the game is hard. That would kind of track. This area... Yeah, you're a Sun Wukong King Monkey God Costume 2026. Not sure how that fits together. So yeah, should not be surprised that game whose difficulty is set to hard is hard. But also, okay, I'm guessing that those butterflies stun... I'm guessing those are stun spores. Yellow tends to be the color of stunning, of things that stun you in video games. Be that electric or just regular stunning spores or what have you. So I feel like that's a relatively safe assumption to make. They do take fall damage. The enemies do definitely take fall damage in this game, which is quite nice. I'm really not sure where I'm trying to get to in this area. I'm really not sure where I'm trying to get to in this area, other than I'm just going to keep going to the right until I find something. And hopefully don't get too lost in the maze. Yeah, you blame Pokemon for yellow equals stun. I do think that the first game I can think of chronologically I did have yellow for the stun color was the Pokemon games. And it's now just kind of spread absolutely everywhere. It's kind of spread absolutely everywhere now. I'm kind of running low on health, and it's been a while since I've seen a pathway anywhere useful. I walked straight into that attack. Yeah, I definitely walked straight into that attack, but I have... Oh, I did get stunned. But yeah. Pokemon's probably the reason why yellow stun is kind of just the accepted standard at this point. But I mean, if people understand it, if people understand that like yellow is stun, that's a somewhat crumbling looking bridge. I don't know what lever I just pulled, but I pulled a lever somewhere. The map of this the map of Crimson Forest seems to be the name of the area. Oh, we have like multiple different areas. I know there's an entire area over here also that I haven't been to. Seems to be slightly confusing. I legitimately do not know what lever I pulled. Given that I don't see anything up above. I also cannot talk to the NPC through the floor. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, I cannot talk to the NPC through the floor. Yet. Okay, can I get out of here? Is there even a way out of here? But yeah. If the lever stays pulled, it's a good expedition. That is true. That is very, very true. Because that means that we unlocked... If it's... So long as the lever stays pulled, which... I'm going to go off of assuming that this game is similar to Ender Lilies, which would imply that the lever will stay pulled. Ooh, and we got a second item. 200 materials is definitely solid. But I'm going to assume that I'm going to go off the Ender Lilies. At least same developer. And this seems to be a semi-direct sequel. Semi-direct sequel from what I've gathered so far. So it will probably stay pulled. Okay, I have cleared this screen at least. Though also, I'm still at like 0 health and have been for a rather extended duration at this point. Okay, I don't think most of the enemies deal direct contact damage, at least. But yeah, there are... I would very much like to find a shortcut somewhere. I mean, I suppose that kind of counts as a shortcut. Not quite to where I was expecting, but it at least lets me heal. Yeah, the last health point is the only one that actually matters. At least in most games. I know there are some games where you get weaker as your health bar goes down. So it's not guaranteed, but yeah. It's a good start for sure. Okay, because I don't know why I hit my heal button right there. The heal button is... Yeah, the heal button and the health button are... Or the passive attack button. Or at least, I suppose they're kind of a similar button. The right one and left one are kind of similar buttons. Just one's on the right and one's on the left. Okay, there is a warp there. Okay, that is just a warp back around. And the fact that the game's not really telling me where I'm warping to, it's just kind of pointing me in a given direction, does make it a little bit tricky to tell where I'm actually going to wind up after a warp. Okay, because that will stun... Okay, yeah, the stun attack, or my attack that lets me stun enemies, is fairly useful from what I can gather so far. I just need to find the other side of the lever. I just need to find the other side of the lever still. Which I'm presuming it has to be somewhere in the somewhat maze-like structure that is... Why? It's also, like, why does every area in a game that has warps and stuff wind up being a giant maze? Also, what is that other currency I'm getting? Because we have materials, we have fragments, and we have, like, a yellow one? Scrap. Apparently there's, like, 3 entirely different types of money that you get in this game. Which, not the most useful combo ever. Okay, that does let me... I'm gonna check down first. No, I've already been here I've already been to this room from a different direction. I have no idea how I got to this room from a different direction, but the map at least looks like I've already been here. So maybe I check the other direction first instead. Yeah, it's like warp area... Stunning is always yellow. Or like paralysis or stun or whatever the game's equivalent is always yellow. Areas with warps always seem to turn into giant mazes. Even when they don't need to be. Poison is always purple. Yeah, poison is always a purple color. Even though a lot of real poisons aren't necessarily a purple color. But poisons in games are almost always a purple color. Red barrels have to explode. Just the language of video games built up over several decades of people just learning weird random associations from different games and getting carried between games like crazy. Okay, there is... Oh, ooh, secret pathway. I did not expect to run into a secret pathway up there. But hey, I will take it. Assuming I keep my health bar above 0. What item did I get? Increases damage by 10% when attacking on the ground. A mark of camaraderie awarded to a warrior that defended House Frost's territory. Chains were fashioned by sorcerers of the Crimson Forest. Steeped in strong magics, they were designed to restrain the homunculi of House Milius. It's not terrible. That's more damage when I'm on the ground, which is more damage, which equals the enemies last less time, which is presumably helpful for my long-term survival rate if the enemies are not alive. The Warp Maze thing is just because teleporting to random places helps you get lost, but Silph Co could also be another reason to blame Pokemon again. A lot of game design stuff probably came from stuff like the original Pokemon games. A lot of game design came from Dungeons and Dragons is another one. Dungeons and Dragons is another one. I'm going to just leave the room that I already cleared stuff in. I think I found the other side of the warp to the door. Maybe. I at least found the other side of something. I just need to keep my health above 0, but yeah. Pac-Man also kind of did. Yeah, Pac-Man kind of also did it. Pac-Man is literally a maze. Yeah, Pac-Man is literally a maze, so can't be surprised there. Yeah, lots of game. The language of video games kind of just builds on itself until people are expecting things, and they wind up getting worked into the game because people are expecting them. Because it was that way in other games, which is it's always interesting. Like it makes, and there goes my health. It makes sense. It does definitely make sense. Okay, I want to figure out how to get to either the other side of this door. Yeah, looking at the map, I want to either get to the other side of this door here, or I want to make it over here, which is the door that I pulled the lever to open. But the entire area is... This entire area is slightly a maze. It does look like if I go up and then right, I can get back to where I was more easily. Also, I don't know why I always... It's also like... I don't know what it is about the games that I've played that means I always want my primary attack to be on, like, the square button on my controller. And, like, if dodge is not on, like, right trigger, I start kind of getting thrown for a bit of a loop as well. But yeah, don't have to fight against 75 years of tradition. It does make sense why game language builds on itself as much as it does, but it's still an interesting thing to think about. The enemies in this area are still rough. Let's not stand in the middle of the stunning attack, or walk straight into it. Okay, the stun attack does deal a lot of damage. I'm assuming that there is a enemy up here, or at least something up here that's worth having run all the way up here. Okay, there's an entire pathway. Okay, we're now below where we were, or below the secret pathway. I'm trying to piece together how this area is put together so I can actually maybe stand a chance of navigating. And it is like the purple toxic goop is definitely purple toxic goop and deals a lot of damage. And it's always like, it is always just interesting to me just how different games work off the same like base language, but do very different stuff in the long term. Okay, we are going to run out of health because I fell into the purple toxic goop. Yeah. Don't fall in the purple toxic goop. turns out it deals a lot of damage. Now I need to remember how we got back there. Because it was up, right, around there, and then up. Okay. It's at least the map is semi-readable for how to get around. I feel like if this game had the Ender Lilies map, this area would be more frustrating because it would be even harder to tell where you're trying to go. Though I still need to be more careful to not take just ridiculous amounts of damage to start. Because yeah, these enemies do deal a rather large quantity of damage, and I'm honestly not sure if even fighting a lot of them is worth it. Because the more enemies I fight, I also take a bunch of damage from just having to fight the enemies that I don't have to take if I just run straight past a bunch of the enemies. Though these enemies I feel like I do need to actually fight because I need to do platforming around them. And doing precision, or doing any sort of real platforming when you're getting randomly stun locked feels like a bad idea, or random knockback feels like a bad idea. Just a little bit of a bad idea. Though also, these enemies are kind of in a weird spot, like weird level of flying enemy to be able to actually hit them. Because I'm guessing there's something to the right out of this room. It's a long vertical passageway with an enemy in it. Because why would there not be enemies everywhere? Yeah, why would there not just be enemies absolutely everywhere? Okay, where am I? Okay, we found this item. But there's also something to the left up there that we didn't get. Yeah, so okay, 5 more health is still worth it. If 5 health is still definitely worth it because, I mean, it's free health. It's definitely just free health, which never turn down the health upgrades. And that never turn down a health upgrade in a game where every enemy deals as much damage as you and has more health than you. Great words of wisdom. Okay, there's definitely something here. I just need to try to keep my health bar positive enough to not run out of health trying to explore this area. Okay, do not attack through the floors. Unfortunately. Yeah. More health is good if I'm losing half of it instantly from a single attack by a common enemy. Yeah, that's entirely fair. Ooh, I'm guessing that if I go left here, I get an actual shortcut through the area. Yeah. That is super good. I did pick up this relic. I don't know if I want that relic equipped right now, but I have it. And we have a cutscene. Past the Crimson Forest is the stronghold of House Frost. No idea what it's like now, though. Not since I shackled up in the tethered steeple. Woof, woof. What's wrong? Grr. Seems there's something on his mind. Maybe the forest is where he was born. There. We get to take care of our wolf friend. Yeah, we have actually made some progress through the area by flipping another lever. I still can't swim under the water, but at least I can swim on the surface. I'm guessing I'm going to unlock that ability at some point. There is another locked door there. Seems to be a number of them. Oh, this also takes me to the gate that we already opened. Oh, that's kind of helpful to know. Can I movement jank my way around this corner? Maybe. The game feels like it almost wants me to be able to movement jank my way around that corner. Yeah, there we go. I'm not sure if I can make it around that ledge, though. Because that's an item, and it almost feels doable. Okay, it is definitely doable. With the movement jank the game gives me. Beast Horn Ornament. Reduces damage taken from enemies by 15% when health is full. An ornament card from a beast of the forest. It grants protection to the bearer, and may be considered an arcane instrument of sorts. It is said to have been treasured by the priestesses of the ancients. Less damage is also good. Just an item that means I take less damage. Aw, poor thing. Was it protecting the forest? Why do I feel like we're about to fight another boss? Yeah, it feels like it's another boss. Yeah, same text, though. Because protecting the forest from what? Time was, they used to call this place the Sorcerer's Village. It's been an age. I barely recognize the place. I mean, we found another area. Definitely, because it's also like very concerning. Because what were they protecting the forest from? Okay, I definitely don't have enough vertical mobility to get up there. Oh, I do have enough vertical mobility to get up there from the other side, though. Spy's letter to the Elder. Invasion by Milius Homunculi imminent. They have their sights set on the wildlife. The Azure Forest is to be their testing ground. Hold on, did their test go so poorly that they changed the color of the forest? From azure to crimson? Is that what I'm reading? That kind of feels like what I'm reading. I'm also not sure if I'm intended to be in this area yet, but the game hasn't outright stopped me with like a locked door or something. But also this game does definitely give you a little bit of just movement jank at times that you can mess around with. So that might play into letting me get to places a little bit in some strange times. Okay, yeah, that is a parry attack. That is also quite a strong parry attack, all things considered. I should use my... That is a very strong attack. Holy cow. I should use the parry more often. At least while I have it equipped, I should use it more often, because I'm guessing it's not a or I'm guessing that I might be able to swap it out for other things at some point in the future also. Ooh, respite. Still like the respites. They are still very helpful. That's kind of not super expensive on only two relic slots for 15% less damage on the first hit I take. Is honestly kind of nice. Oh, it's a cutscene. That would be the boss fight. Maybe not? I thought you were dead. Grim Reaper of the Milius. You took the life of Lady Abelia? After what you did. Infiltrating our ranks. Betraying our trust. How dare you show your face here? Lady Abelia, you have her blood on your hands. And I... make you pay. Woof, woof. Aw. Hey, thanks for joining my stream, Alexander. No choice but to defend ourselves. Holy cow, we just said something. Viol the Crazed Wolf. That's definitely a boss fight. Yeah, this definitely is a boss fight. Doesn't just look like a boss fight, it is definitely a boss fight, and I deal half my health bar and damage again. Because why would anything deal less than half my health bar and damage? Common enemies, half the health bar and damage. Boss fights, half the health bar and damage. Presumably the environment, half my health bar and damage. The parry attack is extraordinarily powerful. The parry attack is something extraordinarily powerful that I definitely need to make more use or better use of. Because that deals a lot of damage if I can get a parry off. So I definitely want to do that when possible. This boss feels a bit easier than the other one did, than Shackled Beast did at least. Though that might be because I was only in phase 1 and didn't have that attack to deal with yet. Yeah, feels a little bit more sane though. Yeah, feels at least a little bit more of a sane boss fight. Though that is not to say it's an easy boss fight either. Yeah, slightly more sane boss versus easy boss is not the same thing. Because this is... Okay, I can at least skip the cutscenes. Because yeah, I can parry for a relatively decent chunk of damage. Yeah, the parry is a relatively decent chunk of damage. The spin attack is pretty high damage output, though. Yeah, I need to remember to actually use all my attacks as well. I need to remember to actually use all my different attacks that I have, because there are a lot of them. Yeah, I do have a lot of different attacks. And utilizing every tool at my disposal seems like it's likely useful. I did not have the correct parry timing there. Of course, the parry timing is, well, as useful as the parry probably is, the fact that it does mean I take damage if I miss it, and things deal a lot of damage is slightly terrifying. It does make it slightly terrifying to actively use. Okay, but it does give me a way to counter some of these stronger attacks that I can't really get out of the way of sometimes. At least when I can hit the parry timer. Oh, I tried to heal? I tried to heal when I had no healing. I tried to heal when I didn't have any healing, and Lilac here, the character, just kind of shook her head at me. Kind of like, yeah. It also does that if I'm trying to heal when I'm already at full health. Definitely not the easiest. It's not, I don't think it's as difficult of a boss as Shackled Beast. Yeah, it seems to be a little bit easier of a boss than Shackled Beast, at least. But that does not make it an easy boss fight. It does not mean the boss fight is going to need to be an easy boss. Because they are still a boss fight in a difficult Souls-like metroidvania game. And that is one heck of a combo. Yeah, there's one heck of a combo for their danger levels. The music is very good for this boss fight as well, though. Like, I quite like the music. The game, but both the Ender games have had very, very good soundtracks. Okay, are you going to... What are you going to do next? Gonna attack me? I mean, obviously. Yeah, obviously the electric wolf is going to attack me. The angry electric wolf is going to attack me at that. I am able to deal damage to them. I am also able to run out of health completely because that attack, when they're transitioning to what I'm assuming is like phase... I'm honestly not sure because the phases for bosses, some of these bosses are kind of get mixed together. Or kind of blend together after a while. But that attack is quite powerful. That was also not a great start to that fight, given I'm down 2 healing and I've barely dealt any damage to the boss yet. But I want to help the wolf by making them not mad at us anymore. Though maybe swapping my relics around a little bit, or I can go. I think I have enough materials to buy at least 1 or 2 more relic slots. I think I have enough material to buy at least 1 or 2 more relic slots. Because I'm not really doing aerial attacks. Maybe upgrading my grounded attack damage by getting another relic slot or 2, and just putting some slightly better relics on may come in helpful. Yeah, may be helpful. To just have a slightly better loadout for this boss fight. Given that, yeah, boss fight is a boss fight. And boss fight is going to be tricky. Yeah, tricky boss fight is tricky. I am getting them pretty consistently, at least like half-ish health. Yeah, at least half-ish health is not terrible. Yeah, half-ish health is not terrible for the boss. For me, what I can get the boss down to. Because I can also stun them and knock them out of the air, but then I get this attack. But they're gonna... I'm gonna get hit by the wind-up for that attack. Which does a lot of damage. A lot of damage there. I do think I want to quickly go upgrade or buy more relic slots so I can put a few more items, so I can equip a few more items to help out with the boss a little bit, because I think I have enough materials to get at least 1, maybe 2. Yeah, 2 more relic slots. 2 more relic slots I feel is... I'm not sure I ran all the way back. I feel is likely quite useful. I will say, I do appreciate this game not having ridiculous runbacks on all of its bosses. Equip relics, I do not want the aerial attack. I do like the reduced cooldown. I want more grounded damage. I kind of want the Beasthorn ornament, but I don't have enough to equip that. So I'm going to just equip the extra experience for the moment. I feel like that's a... Oh, there's a text. I saw the text there. The homunculus experiments. From what I've seen, it wasn't just homunculi being experimented on at the biological research facility. They were using creatures from the forest, too. More than likely for their magical potency. Is that how you got your wings? Yeah. But once they'd got whatever they wanted, they cast us aside and move on. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up bad memories. It's fine. It's all in the past now. We're at least helping them. Okay, there's just a lot of text that the game likes to throw at us. The Blight's done a real number on the Crimson Forest. Time was, it looked nothing like it does now. No monsters, blue as far as the eye can see. Oh, so my theory about it being the Azure Forest and Crimson Forest being the same place is correct, it seems. So the Blight altered the very ecology itself. Harm is often swift and complete. Mending, however, rarely is. Heh. Words to live by? We're making progress. I feel like this relic loadout might be a little bit better for this boss just because of how I'm attacking them. And dealing just a little bit of extra damage to the boss will get me through the boss fight just a little bit faster. But also, those attacks deal so much damage. Like, the attacks from the Crazed Wolf are, like, massive attack damage. And they have a readable windup, at least. But that doesn't stop them from being difficult to dodge either. Uh-oh. That's not a lot of health left. Okay, yeah, I am definitely dealing more damage to the boss with this relic loadout. I mean, 15% bonus damage is 15% bonus damage no matter how you cut it. Which is definitely not zero. Yeah, that's definitely a non-zero amount of extra damage. Okay, that is I need to parry later than I'm expecting. Yeah, I think I need to use the parry on that attack a little bit later than I'm expecting to need to, in order for it to not just instantly zero out my health bar. Okay, the wolf, what running around does make it somewhat difficult to hit. Because if they're constantly moving around, I can't hit them very easily. Yeah, can't hit them very easily when they won't stop moving long enough for me to even get close enough to deal damage. Okay, attacking on that phase with my Glacial Fist cooldown attack seems to work pretty well. Because yeah, they are quite the powerful boss here. I want to get out of their little self-made prison. I need to not get hit by that attack. Okay, they are quite the strong enemy still. Yeah, they are quite the strong boss fight. Okay, that attack also still hurts. Yeah, I still don't deal that much. I'm dealing a better amount of damage than I was. Okay, I at least got into the phase alive. Yeah, I at least made it into phase. I'm gonna call this phase 2. It might be closer to like phase not 2. But it feels very, at least sort of phase 2-ish. Okay, I need to be more careful. Because, yeah, Veal the Crazed Wolf. Tricky boss fight. Definitely a tricky boss fight here. And is not the easiest to deal with. Yeah, not the easiest boss fight to deal with either. Because, okay, that attack, I need to get better at dodging it. That attempt did not go as well. Yeah, that attempt definitely did not go quite as planned. Quite as planned. We are getting there bit by bit. This boss fight definitely feels doable, though. This boss fight definitely feels doable, which is nice. So sometimes boss fights feel completely unwinnable at the start. I think this might be phase 2 after we get him down to like 80% health. And then some phase, but then the other one where they start doing their charge attack is phase 3 maybe. Might be a more accurate counter, at least. What attack are you going to do? If I don't know what attack they're going to do, I can't dodge the attack. But also, they tend to move like crazy. Okay, I definitely need to use a heal right there. Yeah, I can deal a decent amount of damage. I am dealing a decent amount of damage now, at least, to the boss. But also the boss deals a decent amount of damage to me. Yeah, do not damage tank the boss that deals. So they're dealing 93 damage. I think we have about 130, 140 health right now, which is terrifying. Okay, because yeah, I can definitely parry their attacks. And it does help, at least somewhat. Okay. Hey, we got, I think that's lower health than I've gotten them to at any point in the past. So that's better. It's better. Definitely getting better. The charge attack is a little bit annoying to deal with, though, and I'm just dealing we're taking a rather large amount of damage for no real reason at a lot of these points in this fight. Okay, the wolf moves around a lot. I think I just need to really focus on just reading what their next attack is going to be. Yeah, the chance of me freezing the boss does not generally seem to be super high either with Glacial Fist. But it is more than 0, because I know I've gotten at least 1 or 2 stuns off on the boss. It does definitely feel like using my pressure ability regularly for the added stun is useful. Though also taking multiple hits to that attack in a row is not great. Because the spin attack is not the easiest thing to dodge ever. Because I think I might have just had the dodge timing for that particular attack off a bit. I feel like I just had the attack with a lot of the dodge timing. The dodges I think I need to do a little bit later than I expect on basically every attack. I think basically every attack I need to dodge later than I think I do. Yeah, if I wait like an extra like quarters to half second, then I seem to do at least a little bit better. Except for the charge attack is like an extra like full second after, I think it is. But at least for the other attacks, it's not as bad. Granted, we are at like a tiny sliver of health now. We are at like a tiny sliver of health. Okay, Oh, I got the parry. I like reached away to be like, okay, we lost that attempt, but I actually managed to hit the parry, and then I walked straight into their electric attack. I walked straight into their electric attack after missing the parry. We're getting it figured out. There's something stuck on my microphone. There we go. We're getting it figured out. I think I've figured out the timing to better dodge the jump in the air and spin attack, which is one of the ones that gives me that's been giving me at least some amount of difficulty. Though also the wolf constantly running away from me does not make it easy to deal damage to them. Yeah, the wolf constantly running away does not make it easy to deal damage to the boss. Yeah, this feels like a phase transition right there. Because yeah, that really does feel... It also kind of feels like the wolf is trying to put me in just, like, attack jail. Yeah, I can use the pressure ability, and it's relatively effective. Yeah, the pressure ability is relatively effective to stun them, which lets me deal a little bit of free damage, or relatively free damage. I really need to be able to get closer to them. Okay, yeah, the dodge timing on that is not as tight as it seemed. It's just later than it seemed. Because I think the wolf, like, stands in the air for a split second. And it's just a little bit awkward to get around. Okay. Okay, we've got a decent amount of healing also. Okay, and we didn't take damage because we managed to get the parry off. Didn't deal damage to them with the parry. We dealt damage to them, but we didn't take a bunch of damage. And honestly, sometimes just not taking a bunch of damage is useful. I say as I then proceed to really seriously bungle that phase. Yeah, I seriously bungled the start of that phase right there, and took a lot of damage very quickly. Because I think I just misread their attacks and didn't dodge out of the way in time, which is, it works. It means that I know I can get to that phase with more health than I have been in the past. Though also I need to be a lot more careful to not have that happen, because I take a lot of damage. Yeah, this boss deals a lot of damage to me, which makes it just a little bit tricky to deal with. Okay, I can dodge pretty easily if I at least can tell what they're throwing at me, and I don't misread like I did right there. Okay, I'm dealing like 80 to 100 damage in attack, which is not honestly terrible. Yeah, that's not honestly a terrible damage output. And the pressure deals like 8 to 10 at a time. Yeah, the pressure attack, which is this ranged one, deals like 8 to 10 at a time, and also quite a bit on the stun. And my ground slam is basically just a bonus attack, is what it kind of feels like to me. Okay, you are going to attack me by jumping. That can hit me on both the up and the down. Yeah, that spin attack can hit me both going up and down, and zero out my entire health pool, apparently. Good to know. Granted, absolutely everything about this boss just, like, zeroes out my entire health pool in, like half a second. If I lose attention for even a split second, I'm already at like 0 health. Which I suppose makes sense. Given hard game is hard, and hard game on hard difficulty is harder than hard. It is just harder. Okay, I can throw an attack off there. What are they doing? Because yeah, it's like, well, what attack are they trying to throw out at me? Some of these times. It's like they're definitely trying to throw out an attack, and it's just not working out entirely for them because I'm like, they're like trying to jump over me or something. Okay, they're gonna do another spin attack, which means I can heal and then I can kinda counter. If I go all the way to the corner of the screen, I can mess up the parry timing. Yeah, I can mess up the parry timing by going all the way to the corner of the screen. Which is not the best thing to mess up the parry timing, because that attack deals a lot of damage to me. Okay, I got the parry that time. It didn't deal damage because I was not close enough to the corner of the screen for me to be in their land or their ending radius for the counter on the parry. But it was damage. Okay, we're not dead yet. And I think they have need one more hit. Okay. Their health bar got very low, but also my health bar got very low. But we beat it. We beat the boss. That scent. After all this time, to think I would be reunited with my kin. Aw. My apologies, young Frostatuner, but I am tired. The blight drove me to madness, causing me to strike down my brethren. So that's what they were defending it against, the forest against. Wait, who is this Abelia you speak of? Where you spoke of? Cretin, do you truly not remember? No matter, it will come to you. This tuner will see to that. Tuner, I have a request. Take my remains, my core and amplifier, to the elder of the village ahead. What remains of my strength and will, let them be passed on to my kin. They shall serve you well. Aww. Oh. Oh, my kin. You are fortunate to have met one so noble. Aw. Game's gonna make me cry. Let's go find the village elder. Yeah, let's go find the village elder. Apparently they're off to the right. Aw. I'll carry your legacy with me. The wolf was just trying to protect his friends, and it didn't quite work out in his favor. There is an item up there. Interesting. A flower mutated by the blight. It feels as if it's calling out to someone. That's very reminiscent of Ender lilies once again. And a tuner. However do you reach this place? Are you the elder of the sorcerer's village? That I am. Of what remains of it? This once pure forest has been turned into a maze of red death, and Viol, its guardian, driven to madness. But if you are here, I take it Viol has found peace. Viol wanted you to have this. A core amplifier. I do still feel sad about having to defeat that wolf enemy, even if it was the boss that was attacking me. It does still make me feel kind of sad. Woof, woof. I see. It is to be passed down. Viol's legacy. You may entrust it to me. I'm guessing we're stepping back because, something's happening. Oh, they're even more, like, energetic, happy looking now. It's a much more energetic looking wolf, and much more regal looking as well. Amazing. Is that really you, Hottie? Oh, woo! And so, Viol's legacy lives on. I am certain it will prove useful. Hottie looks happy too. Ooh, a continuous unidirectional sprint atop Hottie. Move more swiftly atop an enhanced Hottie. New paths may be opened by charging through breakable walls. Charging into enemies causes damage and destroys their parts. Dash continuously, breaking enemy parts. Can be destroyed when they take fall damage or attack with specific actions. Destroying parts deals scrap, a special resource. Some enemies have parts that cannot be destroyed. That's useful, I think. I mean, it's one of the 3 currencies we get in this game. Be careful out there. The ways of the tuner will not protect you from the fumes forever. Viol and we also... Aww. There are still several of them here. It all came apart when the Frosts started to follow House Milius and began aiding in their homunculus research. They even turned over the forest's creatures, and in doing so, they angered the forest itself. What followed was divine retribution. Yeah, it seems like anytime you try to take over from nature in the world of the Ender games, the Blight just is like, no, you're not doing that, and just destroys your entire civilization. This has happened multiple times now. Or like the Ancients. House Frost used to govern this village. It's all in the past now. They started living in structures built during the time of the Ancients. Living as one with the forest, they conduct their studies into magic. Aww. Tired wolf. Let's not disturb him. Yeah, let's not disturb the super tired wolf there. But it seems like anytime you mess with the Ancients or like the power of the forest in this game, ooh, I can pick up items. 150 materials. But it seems like every time that happens in these games, your entire civilization just gets like instantly eviscerated by... Okay, I need more horizontal area to build up my charge, apparently. I wonder if I can charge across screen boundaries. Because there's definitely an item over here also. Cassia's Grimoire. Concerning the growths in the forest, when the inert core of a mutant bonds strongly with the blight, it manifests in the form of these barriers. Should one wish to destroy them, they would require magic deeply linked deeply to the origin, such as that possessed by Viol, the forest's guardian. So there's definitely a question mark, something with that lily right there, but wrong character. Viol moved. Yeah, the body just moved itself apparently, which is probably just because I defeated them in a different spot in the game as their like saved defeat location. There was a treasure chest or 3 on this screen. Yeah, there was a treasure chest or 3 on this screen that I want to unlock as well. It was behind a breakable wall. There were actually, I think, several breakable walls on this screen that had stuff hiding behind them. I really need to stop just walking into enemies' attacks because I do not have that much... Yeah, I do not have that much damage to play around, or health to play around with for taking unnecessary damage. I should probably heal again. Okay, there was a treasure chest down there. Okay, I'm guessing I need to break that upper... There's an upper barrier also that we saw earlier. I'm guessing I need to jump across here to break the upper barrier to be able to turn around and build up enough dash to break the lower barrier, because I'm betting that just along the bottom here did not have enough space from like this wall to build up the dash in time, because yeah, I definitely would have hit the wall there. Grimoire unlocks new items that can be forged at crafteries. That is exceptionally useful because the items are very, very helpful to have. I am also about out of health. I am almost always about out of health in this game, it seems like. It kind of feels like there's something up there. I'm going to warp back to the respite, and I'm going to try to climb up the rooftops, I think. Because it looks like I can climb up here. Actually, I know I can climb up here. It looks like I can get on top of this building. It looks like I can cross over to the top of this building. And then it looks like I can cross over here to pick up 5 max health and a 100% completed screen. That is pretty good. Yeah, that is pretty good. There are a lot of things that I'm missing in this forest area, though. Because, slightly confusing layout. I kind of want to try to complete the Crimson Forest area a little bit more than I have, because I think some of these items are going to be very useful. Also, at some point, we should go talk to Hadi's original owner and see if they react to the upgrades. Okay, how do I get into... Or what's missing on this screen? Because the screens that are not marked as blue are missing an item. I'm guessing it's probably something down... Maybe down there. But I'm not 100% certain. Because there's also the entire left side of the room. Though I don't see anything down... I don't see anything down below, at least, that, like, screams, hey, we're missing an item down here. At least to me. So it might be something, like, tucked up along one of the walls. Because the devs of this game definitely, at least in Ender Lilies, really like to just stick items, like, hidden, like, tucked barely inside the walls of the area, which makes them a little bit hard to spot at times. Yeah, it makes them a little bit tricky to spot sometimes. Or maybe it's down there? Though that doesn't really make sense either. Not sure what item I'm missing on this screen. Though apparently there's also an exit here to a entire room I've been missing, full of dangerous things. All right then. Granted, everything in this game is just highly dangerous, because even the, like, bubbles and stuff are already not safe. I do not know what that fish thing is, and I do not think I want to know what that fish thing is. But it looks rather dangerous. Pick up. Reduces damage, an effigy. Reduces damage taken from enemies by 20% when at half health or less. An ancient talisman created by the Frosts. It has been crafted using resources from the forest that carry magic. Protects the bearer from mortal wounds. I think that might be more useful than the one that reduces the first hit I take by 50%. Because I feel I am much more prone to being at half health than full health. I feel like I'm much more prone to being at half health than full health. Case and point, I'm at like 2% health right there. Yeah, is there what? Because there's so many pathways just tucked around this area. Oh, we're on the right side of the room we were in before now. So if there's something on the right side, we'll find it. Because I didn't, or not the right side, the left side. Because I didn't see anything on the right side. So maybe something over here? Because this room's not huge. Oh, there is something up here. That's a tricky little secret. Okay, that's that room completed. I'm trying, because yeah, getting every little upgrade with how few bits of health we have and how much damage everything deals, every upgrade we can find is like a major improvement. Like even like 5 extra health is a massive damage up, or is like just a massive improvement over where we've been. Because yeah, it's just so little. Yeah, I just take so much damage and have so little health. And there's so many more enemies than me. So it's rather tricky to survive. Because the enemies and I have very similar health pools. The enemies and I have very similar health pools, except the enemies also have the advantage of just a lot more health. Okay, that's a shortcut there. Is that even a useful shortcut? Because I'm not sure I can actually make it back out of this hole here right now, because I can't swim. So I'm not even sure that's a useful shortcut right now. I'm not entirely sure that's a super useful shortcut. I want to figure out where that one links from, but there's also a pathway up here. I think I want to go take this teleport up to here, because I think that one goes here, and I can warp over here and maybe break that wall. I suspect that might get me somewhere useful. So what am I missing on this screen? Because I'm definitely missing something on this screen, according to the game, at least. But I can't tell what. Because as far as I can tell, I've checked everywhere, unless there's like just something tucked all the way off to the right. Because yeah, so few items. Oh yeah, there is just something tucked off to the right. Parts that can be used to unlock and strengthen abilities. A homunculus core that was once in common use. It was among the first cores put into production. The outer casing, meant to protect the homunculus' soul, had a defect in it. Interesting. Which ability does that let me unlock or upgrade, I wonder? I mean, we have the relic. I think... Yeah, I'm honestly not sure that which set of relics is the most useful right now. Oh, it gives me, instead of a parry type attack, it gives me a different type of parry type attack. That might be useful. Especially because those are like level 2 attacks. And I wonder... Okay, so it is another parry. When some enemy attacks me, I will poke it a little bit. I can't tell where the missing secret on this room is, but it's probably the breakable wall off to the left. That would at least make sense for being a secret. Yeah, I'm just not... Things deal so much more damage than I do. There's so many more of them. It's very... Yeah, it's just a little tricky to not run out of health from how many enemies there are. Also, these flying enemies they're not terrible, but they do move quite fast. They do move quite fast, which makes them a little bit difficult to deal with. Okay, I want to clear out at least some of these flying enemies from around the room, because if I have a bunch of flying enemies around, it's going to be really hard for me to figure out how to break this wall. I'm guessing I need to jump up from there. So I need to fall down from over here is my theory. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because it's not that the game's exactly unfair with how it lays everything out. It's just a little bit interesting to solve some of the puzzles that Ender Magnolia is throwing at me, because Ender Lilies was kind of the same way. Hey, look, it's a free relic slot. I will absolutely take a free relic slot. There's stuff missing in that room also. In the bottom room, I'm assuming is because, I mean, there's definitely stuff down there that I can't break yet. I'm guessing that this one is because of the question mark. So I think from this respite, if I go up and then left. Yeah, or I guess like up, right, and then left is the best pathway. Because yeah, every upgrade item is a major benefit. Yeah, every single upgrade item is a major benefit. Don't want to ignore any of them. Yeah, I do not want to ignore any of the just random upgrade items or relics that are tossed around the map. Because I can clear these guys out fairly easily. Did the game count me as in... I went from chapter 2 to chapter 4 by beating those two bosses, Viol and Shackled Beast. Because the game definitely I think probably increases, if it's similar to how Ender Lilies worked, increases the strength of every boss each chapter. So you can kind of fight story bosses a little bit freeform, but it doesn't necessarily make your life easier to do the tougher ones first. Yeah, okay, there's a missing item somewhere on the screen. Is it? It's a secret pathway tucked in over here, which warps me over to this room right in the middle of a bunch of enemies. It warps me right into the middle of a bunch of enemies in this room, which lets me pick up this item, which is another bracelet. Improves stats, primarily defense. A trinket worn long ago by the ancients. It is engraved with runes, and a faded red root wraps around it. Interesting. That also completes a decent chunk of Crimson Forest. I still feel like I'm missing the ability needed to get items from these rooms over here. Because I don't have any way to climb walls. I'm guessing that these rooms have items tucked up the walls. That's at least my general suspicion, that the items are tucked somewhere up the walls. This is better than... It reduces my attack a little? Reduces my attack a little bit, but it gives me a lot of defense and a lot of heal potency. I think that might be a worthwhile trade-off. Because this one kind of counteracts that defense, or that attack drop, for even more defense, and just surviving slightly longer feels exceptionally helpful. Because there's just do you respond to Hadi's upgrades at all? No? The restricted areas are bad news. Don't go letting your guard down. Because it was his puppy at first. Because that is honestly not terrible. I don't have much else to spend it on right now. Because more defense and even more heal potency feels... Yeah, I still think I want just more defense and more healing potency. Because that improves my ability to do literally anything functional. Even if it does reduce my attack a bit. Yeah, it reduces my attack a little bit, but not by an excessive amount. I still don't think I can break things on the floor with our running. I did not mean to talk to him. Because there's another doorway here that leads somewhere. And there's also... Oh, I can probably get the items from Subterranean Lab, can't I? It's very, very easy to distract me with, hey, look, items. Oh yeah, I should not have canceled my dash yet. Because I can definitely break that wall with my existing dash ability. Like that. And then that gives me something good and useful? Yes, something very good and useful. 5 more health is exceptionally nice. I will always, 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 always take like 5 more health in this game. Especially because it seems to be very much have taken a page out of Ender Lily's book. Okay, that is a freaky looking enemy. We have the ground snake. Okay, this is an entirely new area. Oh. That's mildly concerning. That we just randomly find an entirely new area? Okay, stop. Stop. Are you just gonna try to back me into a corner? Yeah, this type of enemy is a little bit tricky to deal with, just because they have this shield on their front. And are very good at turning around to block attacks. Yeah, this enemy is very good at turning around to block attacks, which makes him a little bit tricky to deal with. Just a little bit. Survey team's notes. Finally at the crystalline realm. Need to be wary of the frigid fumes spewing from every corner. Highly dangerous. Pushing on with the aid of the lower stratum depths survey team. Land of origin within our reach, but road ahead more treacherous than expected. I already know how the freeze effect works because we've been using Glacier Fist. Or at least I know approximately how it works. Okay, this is another door I can unlock. So we have the key to the lower stratum doors. The fumes are even thicker down here. What is this place? This appears to be a slightly evil area, and also the platforms appear to not be very permanent. Yeah, the platforms on the walls appear to not be very permanent seeming. But this is an entirely new area. I mean, I suppose we did do a pretty good job of clearing out the area to the right. I am out of health. I'm going to check the other pathway also. Because I think we can also open that door. And I want to at least know what my options are. I want to make sure I at least know what my various options around the map are. Because that would come in helpful and handy to at least know where I can go. Even if we are very much still stuck in up this lower, at least from what I'm gathering from the text that we've been picking up so far. Okay, we can also unlock this story, which leads me somewhere slightly vaguely upwards angling. Subterranean Laborer's Code. As long as the Magicite yet depends upon it, for it is your hands that lay the foundation for House Milius. Squad Leader, Milius Magicite, Mining Unit 1. That's it's another entire area. Also Magicite Mine. The fumes here are thicker than I expected. There's also a locked door that I cannot go through. The attack of the enemy, I take a lot of damage. That generally feels like a safe assumption to make. Is that the more I take damage from enemies, I mean, yeah, the more I get hit by enemies, the more damage I take. Oh gosh, that looks terrifying. And I'm guessing if I get hit by the drills, I also just probably has a very realistic effect to what happens if you get hit by a giant mining drill in real life. If I had to guess. Helix Crystal. Recovers 3%. An inert core that has fused with a chunk of magicite, causing an uncanny reaction. The remnants of the soul once contained within the inert core yearn to return to life, and the magicite responds to their mournful longing, transforming in the process. How very interesting. Yeah, how very interesting. I'm guessing that those deal a lot of damage if they hit me still. I mean, even their standard attack, I have enough healing potency that I can heal a pretty good chunk per heal charge at least. But yeah, I'm guessing that those enemies deal a lot of damage. The miners deal a third to half my health per hit. They're just a common enemy. They are not a boss type enemy. Which the fact that it's common enemies dealing that much damage to me is what really has me concerned. Though I do quite like the sound of heal 3% health every time an enemy is defeated. Because healing is one of the things that I feel like really has a major impact on my ability to get stuff done, especially for exploration. Like for a boss fight, 3% health on defeating an enemy is not super useful, but for non-boss areas, it feels quite helpful. I do feel like I should probably be collecting scrap as I go by just dashing into as many enemies as I can. Because it feels like that's going to be useful. There's just a person down here. What are you all playing at? Why help us now? After everything we put your kind through. Interesting. Writing etched into the wall. There's something wrong in the mines. It's as if everyone has gone mad. They dig for magicite as if their very lives depended upon it. Is it because of the fumes? Maybe I've gone crazy too. Or maybe I already was, or always was. Just a little bit crazy. Just a touch on the crazy side. You know? Gotta have a little bit of crazy. Otherwise, Otherwise, it's boring. If you don't have just a little bit of the crazy. Okay, I don't think I necessarily need to rest at this respite again. I don't think I necessarily needed to rest at that respite again. This area feels a little bit easier than the Crystalline Realm down below, I say as I have my entire health bar almost drained to 0 by 2 common enemies. But also, I honestly feel like that kind of tracks. Especially just given everything about this game. Okay, I should pick up the items. 5 health is never something to sneeze at. Oh, these guys have some kaboom sticks. I can't break those platforms in the floor to get that item yet, but the game is at least kind enough to mark it on the map for me. Yeah, the game is at least kind enough to mark it on the map for me, which is quite helpful. I am at almost no health. That is always terrifying. Ah, yeah, the drill attack at least deals knockback damage at the same time. Because otherwise that would be completely unreasonable. Though I'm also already rather low on health. I'm also rather low on health already, and I've cleared like 1 room. one room of the area. 0% health required. Rather tricky area, it appears. And also lots and lots of enemies that are all quite rather dangerous, it appears. Does not seem to be anything over to the left or the right. I promise I know which way is left and which way is right. And I'm not completely stupid. At least not completely. Maybe a little bit. Ooh, five more health is, like I said, never a major problem. That feels like there's a breakable path in the floor there, maybe? Or a loop back around from this side. Not sure which. Current plan is just run places. And maybe find something useful at some point. Either progress or an area. Okay, that is kind of helpful. These miners are also a little bit on the crazy side. I'm gonna just blast them with my passive. Ooh, item. Tarnished tag. Reduces damage taken by enemies by 10%. There's no qualifier on that one. I like that there's no qualifier on that one. Proof of occupation worn by the homunculi working the magicite mine. Fumes pervade much of the forbidden areas, and even homunculi with a greater resistance to magic are not impervious to them. I was kind of hoping I could launch my passive down the hole like that. And just take out at least take out one of the enemies. We have basically cleared this entire room now, because it's blue. Blue equals good. Blue equals room actually has nothing else left in it for me, and not just, it probably has nothing else left for me in it. Though I am also out of health, which is moderately unfortunate. Just a moderate bit of unfortunate. There's an item there that I can't get. There's a lever there that I can't pull. There's a room there that I think I can go up. There's a pathway there. Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff just tucked around the map. Just tucked into various various little corners and what have you. Okay, those enemies still hurt. I should still be careful to not take unnecessary damage from all the enemies tucked around the map. There is a item there. I saw that item. Yeah, I saw that item there. I want it. I definitely want that item. Because every item in this game is, so far, quite useful. Either from the perspective of being lore, or being materials, or just anything and everything is just extremely useful. Yeah, it's all things I can it's all upgrades or bits of lore and context, which I like. I like stories in my games. And the lore does definitely play into the game having a story. Okay, that creature type is fairly strong. It does not appear to be a secret pathway. There does not appear to be a secret pathway, so it appears that I'm gonna have to come at this room from below somehow. Yeah, I'm kind of just gonna thin out some of these enemies a little bit before I go down to take the elevator back up. Because the fewer strong enemies there are, I think... Okay, that one's just hard to hit. The fewer enemies there are throwing stuff at me while I'm trying to clear the area, I suspect the better off I'm going to wind up ultimately doing. We'll get there. This is a very slow elevator. Probably because it didn't necessarily expect you to defeat all of the enemies off to the side ahead of time. Though I did also just get slightly blasted by that one. Oh, there's a person here and a respite. I haven't seen you before. I got worked over by a mutant. It appears he does not know you either. Ooh, it's an owl. We're lucky to be alive, you know. Most of my buddies didn't make it. You're hurt. What are you doing here? The grand lift in Old City isn't working. The one that leads up to the central stratum. My buddies are fixing its magic supply, and I'm down here gathering magicite to power it. But there's this garden of flowers further in. The mutant there? I barely made it out. That sounds like a boss room. A mutant in a garden of flowers. You thinking of checking it out? Yeah. Seems like a boss, which seems like progress. In that case, you mind taking my homunculus with you? Are you sure? The state I'm in, I wouldn't last long if I tried to go up against the blight down there, or down here. It must be these thick fumes. That's why the blight's spreading so quickly. Take good care of her, okay? I'm gonna go help the others. Seems like it might be a new attack of some variety, potentially. Which especially if it's another... Please be an attack that I don't have to, like, consciously think about. That would be nice. But who knows? A homunculus scout that belonged to the Attuner Heath, named Munin. Long ago, sorcerers would often employ owl familiars as messengers. Since the decline of House Frost's sorcerers, however, they have been replaced with homunculi. Upon being summoned, Munin will follow Lilac and attack enemies at within range. Not the strongest means of defense, but can be summoned and left to her own devices. Potentially useful, because keeping track of all these different abilities is kinda difficult. Heading back to the old city to help with the lift. good luck down here. It's probably a little bit useful because... Ooh, and I have the relic that I unlocked also, which kind of might... maybe I do want to keep the damage upgrade. Because, yeah, I have... Oh, it is auto, so I have cooldown, primary, pressure, and autos. That's not super powerful. But maybe instead of parry? Yeah, maybe instead of parry. Because if I could just summon them and let them fly around and deal with it, do stuff, that'll at least slightly reduce the amount of things I have to consciously be processing at all times. Which, from everything I know about how I play video games, the fewer things I have to consciously be thinking about constantly, the generally better I'll do with the stuff I do have to think about. And just having a little bit of passive damage, I feel like, is quite handy. I say as I proceed to not be able to climb up this room successfully without just getting completely bashed by the enemies in here. I honestly suppose that's fair enough. There are a lot of rather tricky enemies hanging out. A lot of rather tricky enemies hanging out here, which is at least not terrible. That is a lot of scrap I can get from those enemies, though. There's also a lot of just stuff in this room. Okay, these are not the fast. Those aren't the fastest. Yeah, these are not the fastest enemy, so I suppose it's not terrible. I say as I didn't run out of health. Honestly, looking at the time, I might leave. I might call the stream there for the day, because it looks like we're starting to clear a decent chunk of this area. We can clear the rest of that area next stream and keep making progress. But I do think I'm going to call the stream there for the day, because I'm also kind of tired. So I want to go get some sleep. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Finally actually got an Ender Magnolia stream to happen and not have major issues right like the day before leading up to it. It's a fun game so far. It's a very pretty game so far. I like the art style. Yeah, thanks for stopping by the stream, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't have the YouTube algorithm banish me to the Shadow Realm for all eternity. And have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.